weekend at home. I had made this kind of impromptu, like I was having some technical difficulties on my end, so that's my bad.
The Birdman was hacking Kino's YouTube.
Damn it, Birdman.
Yeah, thanks, Birdman.
I will jam up his camera reel.
But anyways, how are you doing, all you beautiful sons of bitches? It's your boy Max here, and today we got all the boys out here, and Anthony just had to strike twice this week, and he uploaded a new. We just missed this stream. He asked, "What's the best video game movie 32 film tournament stream?" Because that sounds fucking exciting, doesn't it? But anyways, yeah, because Ant has all the exciting streams. But anyway, Anthony is out here saying the Quickle Dwinka is lying to you about Paramount buying Warner Brothers.
Well, before we get into that, what is everyone's thoughts on the potential merger?
I have no idea about this merger, and I don't really care. So, Kino, you're gonna have to explain a little bit.
Do you prefer Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers, or do you prefer Paramount? Because that's the big discussion or debate.
If I had to choose between the lesser of two evils, I would choose Paramount to a degree.
Yeah, I'd choose Paramount.
Yeah, same. I would rather movies be in theaters and just about all of Warner Brothers' library be on streaming.
Nah, I hate theaters, so I'm going with Netflix. We still have some theatrical
releases. I don't buy it for a second.
I only go to the theater if there's something good or something I know I'd like to watch. That's pretty much it.
I'm going to see Secret of the Ooze this Saturday at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
I guess 35th anniversary.
I guess to articulate my own thoughts on the whole merger is that one of the biggest differences between Paramount and Netflix are how they approach DEI, with Paramount dropping it and Netflix remaining committed to it. So this has led to this bidding war being politicized somewhat with that being an aspect to it. But I would say I forget who mentioned it. I think it was Evan, but I fall into the camp that believes Netflix buying Warner Brothers would be a disaster for cinema. They don't care about physical media or movie theaters, not simply as a preference. In fact, their track record shows that they're actively hostile to them because it's competition for the product they're putting out, which is a streaming service.
Well,
so and they had. Yeah, go ahead, John.
Well, it was basically they were spouting some BS about like, we're still committed to that theater window, and they were like, could be 45 days, could be less if it doesn't do great, which is when some people noticed that basically Superman wasn't 45 days whenever they were saying that. But I quite frankly just don't believe them, given their track record that you mentioned. I think they would be they would be like ready to go, chomping at the bit. That's the phrase I was looking for. They'd be chomping at the bit to release, either shorten the theater window or just eliminate it, or deem certain movies that would have been released in theaters. They would say this is a straight for streaming thing. I'm sure they still would have released some that they felt they could make a significant profit on, but I think like mid to low range movies they would totally not.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as far as the other angle goes of the quality of the content, Paramount has its own problems. They have changed ownership like fairly recently with the Zaslavs and everything, which everybody thinks they're like going to make hardcore mega shit. I think they're going to make more like Yellowstone style shit where it's like more just neutral or apolitical. That's if you ever watch the Taylor Sheridan shows, they're not really hardcore in any direction politically.
If anything, they're hicklib, if you know what that term is.
Hicklib.
They're like a blue collar Democrat kind of thing.
Yeah, I think you really hit the nail on the head there, John, because the thing with Hollywood is that they are so politically one-sided. They just pander to the extreme fringes, and that alienates everyone else. So conservative, air quotes, in this case is just moving towards the center where the more average person feels seen by and large.
But Kino, they made The Bride. They're gonna put Zendaya as the lead actor for the fugitive remake.
It's just hilarious to me that anybody thinks like this is going to be a Daily Wire sort of thing now. It's like, guys, Paramount already has a streaming service. They already release content under this ownership. I realize there's some carryover with Star Trek and shit, which will hopefully be ending now in its current form. but it's like this big boogeyman that already exists. They're like, wait until you see this. It's like it's already there. You can see what it's going to be.
Yeah.
The hysterics over this are pretty ridiculous. I agree, John. It's just obvious that David Ellison, the guy who runs Paramount, just really likes mainstream action movies. So he's always really going to do is take inspiration from like I don't know, like early action action movies from like the 80s or 90s. He's going to try to make a resurgence in either action movies and maybe comedy movies. Who knows? Those are getting those are seeing some increased attention again. But
Also-
he's not going to turn it into something like Angel Studios. I agree, or a Daily Wire movies.
Yeah.
Also, would like to point out that we got done talking about Supergirl with Ant and all that, and now he has a Superman book on his stand now.
Yeah, but again, like I'm not necessarily a simp for Paramount. I'm sure that there are pros and cons for both Paramount and Netflix. But what I'm concerned with is, or what I seek from Ant in this video, I skimmed a bit, but I haven't seen the whole thing, is can he convince me that Netflix was the better option than Paramount? Because that like it or not, those are the two choices: giant douche or turd sandwich.
And consolidation is always bad. That's why it's like you're getting, in the end, you're getting less studios. It's going to be overlap. There will be significant firings because of this. That's just what always happens. We've seen this a lot in gaming. We saw it with Disney and Fox. And that's why I've always harped against it when stupid Xbox fanboys go, oh, it's good for them to buy this, and that, and the other thing because they're a smaller install base. It's like, that means you're allowing them to hoover up every IP and buy every company. And it's always bad when there's consolidation, at the very least, because there's less competition. Anyways, yeah.
Well, without further ado, let's just jump right into it, shall we?
But
that reminds me. It's like, yeah, we still got like the elephants. Like, how the fuck is Drinker lying about this anyway? Has anyone seen this fucking video he made?
No,
I haven't seen this video. I've seen him talk on it on open bar
I
and
don't watch
stuff.
him at
He
all.
hasn't been overly, like, as far as what I've seen, he hasn't been like sucking Paramount's cock. He's just kind of like, basically, he obviously doesn't like Netflix nearly as much. So I'd say he'd be.
Yeah, he literally. I've seen the whole video, and he pretty much just says better Paramount than Netflix.
Yeah.
so just lying again.
He's trashed on a lot of stuff. For those who don't know, like Paramount owns Star Trek, so I'd say Drinker is more than trashed on Star Trek for the past few years. So anybody who thinks like he's just, oh gosh, I love everything Paramount, it's like not really.
Yeah.
Star Trek is really interesting for Paramount, but we can probably get into that later. But again, like if Ant wants to convince me that Paramount's bad, he also needs to address Netflix too.
Yeah. But anyways, let's just jump right into it, shall we?
The critical drinker just said something really stupid.
Really?
Here it comes. He'll be like, that's
Here we
not
go.
shut.
Yeah. Also, that pause face right there, that's going on the fucking thumbnail right
oh, you can be
there.
better than that, Backseater. I think you're right.
I know. I just want to get it in case I can't get better. But anyways. But yeah, Drinker did shill for Picard Season 3. Yep,
Oh
that's
my
true.
God.
Hey, I'll say this, Picard Season 3 does stand out from the rest of it. And they actively shit on the first two
That's
seasons.
like
which
saying
is
Andor stands out from Disney's Star Wars.
Except it's a little bit different because they completely ostracized the writer because the main guy who's in charge of Star Trek,
it's
Kurtzman,
still a part of the same crappy brand.
Kurtzman basically was like, well, fuck you. You don't get any more seasons because everybody liked your thing more than me. So now I'm going to kick you out of everything. Fucking
Damn.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you can have a second season, but you have to like film in like, I forget, some Eastern European shithole, and I'm only gonna give you this much money, and you have to do it like right now. And the guy was like, well, I don't want to do that. Then he's just like, well, I offered him whatever. Now it's back to my shit.
It's also not even good because fucking Tim told me so. But anyways,
No, it's a day ending in Y. But I want to talk about it this time, unlike usual.
Just when you thought it was all over, along comes a last-minute play to completely change the game.
The Warner Brothers Paramount deal is a gigantic situation. The entire entertainment industry is
A
going to be
non-committal statement.
Yeah, that's a non-committal right
It's
there.
a gigantic situation. Wow.
Not really,
Wow.
but okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Is it bad or
Yeah.
nothing?
Oh, geez, Jacob, how bad was it? But anyways.
significantly overhauled thanks to this. Paramount has spent over $110 billion to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery. That's almost $30 billion more than the original Netflix deal for Warner Brothers, roughly, for about a portion of Warner Brothers Discovery, as well as roughly $40 billion more than Disney paid to get.
Yeah.
That's a shock, honestly.
Yeah, 'cause I remember
Damn.
Activision Blizzard was like 68 billion, and I think it ended up being a bit over 70 by the time that they were done. And then the Fox deal was like 70 billion, and it's like it's crazy. And then it was basically like I think it was the difference between like $34 a share versus $27 a share was basically the difference between Paramount and Netflix's offer. Because Paramount's was already higher than Netflix's, but Netflix just like I don't know, for whatever reason, they just agreed. I think they gave like stability or something as like their reason for denying more money. And then Paramount just made it such a big difference that they couldn't ignore it anymore. There was like fiduciary responsibility kind of territory of like, we shouldn't turn down this much money.
Right.
It's kind of like when Elon bought Twitter. For those who didn't keep up with that saga, like they did not want to sell to him, but he made such an incredible offer that as like a
Man of an offer you can't refuse.
I mean, literally, like legally, because he was even making the argument whenever they were still trying to deny it. He was like, "This is your fiduciary responsibility as a shareholder. Like, I'm offering you way more than what your company is worth," and everybody agrees. Like, you cannot deny this.
Yeah, and even back then, they were saying that that was that was a mistake from Elon, and that Twitter wouldn't become profitable, or it would just shut down after a few months. Now look at it.
Oh yeah, well that was whenever he fired like 80% of the staff. They're like, it's gonna stop working any day now, guys. And then like 5 years later, or whatever we are, 4 years later, and it's still working.
Yeah, maybe one day Blue Sky will take over. It will become the new Twitter.
Yeah, just gotta keep hoping, bro. Yeah.
I keep pumping the popium.
20th Century
I don't see
Fox
how
a few
Blue Sky can live on, considering the fact that most of the time they just keep blocking each other.
I think they've been shrinking lately.
years ago.
I think the Blue Sky CEO even came out and said, "Hey, we value diversity of thought and opinion because so many people there are just like one-sidedly insane freaks that."
Yeah, it's Dorsey's Twitter turned up to 11.
Anyways.
A few years ago. This is a shit ton of money from a company not exactly known for pumping out hits like Disney has.
Yeah, because Disney's movies have been profitable. Yeah,
Right.
Disney makes money off
has
their
made
theme parks
numerous
and
of good things lately. Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, it's like Disney is probably, if they actually like gave out just their film division, they would most likely have lost money a good amount of recent years. And the fact that they can just kind of lie about budgets, unless they're filming in Britain where they have to actually report them due to tax documents. But, which by the way, every time that they do have to legally report them, it's higher than what they initially said. But also like they make money off theme parks due to legacy IP that they already had built, and they make money off merchandise due to legacy IP that they already built, and that includes, Star Wars. If they sell a prequel era Lego, it ain't going to Lucas, it's going to Disney still, even though they didn't make that. So they make money off legacy basically at this point.
But what's also weird is that he's not like, what theatrical hit has Netflix put out? Like they don't. That goes against their brand.
Yeah.
I mean, aside K-pop Demon Hunters.
But even then, like that wasn't a theatrical hit. That was more so like a streaming hit.
Yeah. It came out after the fact in theaters, right?
Yeah.
I'd say a theatrical hit was Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. That was a hit.
It's Sony, yeah. But
I think Crunchyroll owns the rights to that, right?
Yeah. And whenever it does come out, it still hasn't come out. In fact, they just had a re-release of the theatrical one, which I know Superman didn't get, even though apparently it did so well here.
quotations, did well.
Even their CEO is smart. You know, for as many mistakes as Sony has made in recent years, mainly in the gaming sphere, they actually were smart for once, and they were like, because it came out in like September, and everybody's like, "Oh, I'll just wait for streaming," and they were one of the few people who were just like, "No, you're gonna watch it next year if you're doing that," and it had better legs, most likely as a result that it wasn't coming out in 30 days or whatever on streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that face Ant's making is like, oh shit, I just said something really stupid, didn't I?
God, it's crazy that even the 2017 Power Rangers film was more of a success than what he was talking
God,
about.
what the fuck?
So my shilling glasses.
Yeah.
Yo, that's
Anyways.
Especially recently.
It's Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Now, conservatively,
Isn't this the movie
break-
that fucking ruined James Bond as a character?
Wait, what?
I'm like,
James
what?
Bond?
This is
Mission
Ethan Hunt. Ethan
Impossible,
Hunt.
Marcel.
Ethan Hunt.
I'm thinking of 007, not bad.
The movie was entertaining, but I wouldn't call it a masterpiece of any kind.
No, I mean, I didn't like the last two Mission Impossible movies.
I didn't either.
That really has little to do with anything. Like, that was, they made them, Tom Cruise was doing it as like sort of the finale. Unfortunately, he went out on a low note, because otherwise it's been a fantastic series overall.
Yeah, but like when you look at this like as Paramount, a company putting out hits, and I feel as though this is just cherry picking, because they have proven that they can put out hits. Top Gun Maverick is one of the biggest grossing movies ever.
Yeah.
It made over $1 billion.
Over
And
one and a
also,
half
like,
billion.
Yeah. And also the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, like those are owned by Paramount.
Yeah.
Yeah. God forbid they actually listen to fans. I'll give them credit over Netflix just for that they changed Sonic and made a successful 3, soon to be 4 film series.
You couldn't even
something that would have flopped.
You couldn't even like trust them to make him a hedgehog. Maybe they'd turn him into a platypus or whatever the fuck.
Sonic the Platypus.
They'd skip straight to Shadow and make him the main character just because he's a black hedgehog.
Yeah. Also, guys, check this out. You guys want to know why the last Mission Impossible movie wasn't the best? Here, did you guys know that fucking Tom Cruise is a really big Dragon Age fan, and he did an interview on his thoughts about Veilguard?
What?
Here, guys, get a load of this.
My life will never be the same after Veilguard released. It literally ruined Dragon Age for me. I'll never be able to replay the older games now, knowing that everything I've done in those games leads up to Veilguard. It put me into such a depression that I legit needed therapy, counseling, and medication. It even began to impact my career as an actor. I was always showing up to the studio grumpy and sad. It's part of the reason why The Final Reckoning was so weak at the box office. It was all Veilguard's fault. If I could erase the game from my memories, I absolutely would.
Wow, Tom was a bit long-winded there.
Yeah, I know, but still, man.
I mean, I feel his pain. As a fan, I understand. No, except I'm not even a fan, but I understand, Tom.
Yeah. You won't believe how the film opens. Oh, God, Jacob. I thought Scientologists weren't allowed to play video games. Well, Tom's higher up, so we get to cherry pick the rules. There you go.
Hey, Backseaters, my mic better now?
Yeah, it's better. Anyways.
Right.
Even point for this is $800 million.
That's so much money.
It's also been reported
That's
that
how
it's
much
closer to $1
money.
billion. But this made $500
Isn't that like Avengers Doomsday, basically?
I don't know.
Kind of.
So just shy of 600. A Mission Impossible movie should be a success if it
Damn,
makes
they made,
$600 million.
right?
just around Superman's box office. That's it pretty bad. Damn, man, it's a good point. Anything around Superman's box office,
Oh God,
the big budget IP
Oh God, the villain here died in the most stupidest way possible.
He's like, I'm in a crash. Yee!
Yeah, he was in like a prop plane or whatever.
It was a proper. It was like there's the plane is gonna blow up. Ha! Let's go. And for Gus, the plane has a tail, and he ends up hitting himself hard to the tail.
Let's go.
How is Zane gonna sex-plain his way out of this? I don't fucking know, man.
given, right? But at number one, of course, we've got The Running
Yes,
Man.
sucks. This is one of the worst films to come out 2025. I hate it. And this is objectively a flop. Like let me just look up.
That was like Predator Badlands level.
Worse than Predator Badlands.
It was even worse. I know.
Yeah.
I'm just making a joke out of every movie that Ant was shilling for this past year.
Yeah.
I know.
Certainly, the box office matters. Yeah.
It could be Mission Impossible.
No, what did it? I'm gonna say Running Man made like what 50 million total or what? Like
it was on a
100
budget
maybe?
of like. Let me actually see the box office. Okay, so the the budget was 110 million, and the box office was 68.6 million.
Oof. So half its budget.
Damn.
Which, and if the budget was that high, and it's got to make at least 2.5. Oof.
But let me just say, it deserved it. Like the movie was so bad, it deserved a flop, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a shame because.
But Kino, a lot of people worked really hard on it.
Worked on something else. They should have worked on something else.
Yeah.
And now they can learn. Now that if they accept that it's a failure and that they did a bad job, then they can be better in the future.
I was really
think Hollywood is gonna learn.
I was really upset. I was really upset that Edgar Wright directed this because I actually like Edgar Wright in his movies, but he just did not. He did not bring his A game here.
Edgar Wright filmed this shit.
Edgar Wright is. I heard he's gonna maybe go back to the Cornetto. Well, now that he's failed a few times.
I mean, it's probably not going to work because it's probably going to be watered down.
They were actually just
also something else that you guys should probably know. I'm actually meeting him next week.
Nice.
Tell him that this movie sucked.
Don't make another Running Man.
Become toxic.
Don't make another Running Man. Tell him that.
Evan, what are your connections, Lizard Man? How do you get this shit?
He just does.
Look, he can't say use those connections to
things, really. Well, it's a couple of things. You need money, you need charisma, you need good hats.
What about the money?
Evan is
also tell him to fuck start Simon Pegg's fucking head again.
They were just discussing this about how like you're not the same people you were 20 years ago because like fucking Mahler's a huge fan of the Cornetto trilogy. Of course he is. He's British, but he was like, he was bringing up some interview where like Simon Pegg, who starred in all those films. In Shaun of the Dead, they make a joke where like he's like, "Oh, I gotta go save," I forget her name in the movie, but it's like my girlfriend basically. And then his brother, I think it's his brother in the movie, is just like, oh, gay, like it's like a schoolyard insult because he's saying like, he's like, why are you going to save her? Oh, because I love her. He's just like, oh, yeah. Nick Frost. He's just like, gay.
Nick Frost.
And Simon Pegg was giving some interview. Well, Simon Pegg's giving some interview, and he's like, yes, well, I know it wasn't supposed to come off as homophobic, but unfortunately it does in the film. That's a very unfortunate moment. And it's just like, no, everybody laughed at that. And like Little Platoon, who is gay, was on the panel.
Knows what the fuck it meant.
and he's like, well, why? He's like, you said something was homophobic, and that didn't even come to mind because like even as a gay guy, like he's like, I didn't even think about that as homophobic.
Yeah, it's kind of like
find a way to become the victim.
But like
it's kind of like how Steve Carell says that The Office couldn't be made today, and he's right because you guys are completely pussified. You can't tell a joke at it. You can't tell.
You say the same thing about Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, a lot of things really.
Apparently, needed 275 million to break even. It made about 61.
This deal
I will say the sad thing about The Running Man is that, despite the lackluster direction and, plot and all that, it was a pretty stacked film when it comes to the cast.
It's too bad that they were completely squandered because the story was shit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
absurdly expensive, and industry analysts have said
Now you
their
care
fair
about budgets?
Now he does.
Now you care about budget.
You
Make
always
up your
downplay
mind.
budget.
For Christ's sake.
He only cares about budget when it's convenient for him. Yeah.
It's the Birdman logic. I only care
Yeah.
when it's my side.
I'm thinking specifically about Predator Badlands, a very recent example where he was always like, "Oh, it's the highest grossing film of the franchise, so all the haters were wrong."
That doesn't mean it's good.
Oh, but it also is not relative to the budget. He never brought up that the budget was way more than the box office, so it doesn't really matter if you spend $500 billion on something or $500 million on something. I know they didn't spend that on Predator, but I'm saying like, even if you make 400 million or even if you make 500 million in a box office sense, it's not profitable. Whereas something that spends, 20 million like Demon Slayer and makes 700 and something, obviously that's highly profitable.
Right.
Right.
He always brings
Or-
up like it's the highest grossing of the franchise.
Or someone spends $180 million on a show that didn't even get a season 2. It got canceled after its last episode.
I wonder if he'll bring up streaming numbers for the for all these movies.
Yeah, because that's always their get out of jail free
Yeah.
card.
Oh, yeah.
But again, like you can use this argument for like Netflix when it comes to poor financial decisions. Because does anyone else remember The Electric State? One of the reportedly one of the like most expensive films ever made.
Yeah, like
and
300
I think it was the most expensive.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me check real quick.
Yeah, it was close to 400 million, estimated. Like if you round up, I think. And they bought it like it was just a complete. Like, do you really think that Netflix made their money back? Because it was not. It did not bring people to their streaming service.
Absolutely fucking
No,
not.
their subs did not shoot up. I remember back whenever the Snyder Cut released, and King Kong versus Godzilla was releasing the same month, and this was back whenever we were still in like semi-COVID mode. So like things were releasing in the theater the same time they were releasing on streaming, and that was one of the few times where it was HBO Max. They were like, and whether they were called that or Max or whatever at that point, because they keep changing their name. But yeah, at that time they were like, we saw a subscriber increase. And I remember it because people were arguing whether it was because of the Snyder Cut or because of Kong versus Zilla, all these things. And it's like now they never bring that up. That would be the significant number to bring up if you want to say that you're making money for a streaming service. If a movie premieres on it, if Superman premiered and HBO was like, we saw a 5% increase in subscribers, which, at their total numbers would be a fairly good chunk of money. But they don't say that. And I think if they did see a significant increase, they would say it. It's the classic example of like, when you're doing well, you brag about these numbers. When you are not doing well in them, you either don't bring them up or you downplay their very importance. It's the same thing with like the most successful console will report their sales numbers. The least successful console, even if they used to report sales numbers, once they start doing badly, they'll be like, well, we saw user activity at significant levels this month. And our online hours were very good. They'll bring up like irrelevant numbers like that.
Yeah. Someone in my chat, GooFR,
yeah, that guy.
3540. Remember how Hollywood was freaking out over the original Netflix deal, and it was Tom Cruise and others who were against it? Yeah, James Cameron and a lot of other high-profile people in Hollywood were against it because, again, they understand that a streaming service buying out a theatrical company, that a company that strives off of like theater releases, is bad for the industry. It is going to cause massive problems. And again, so I find it really troubling. I find it really weird that Ant isn't, again, as I said at the start of the stream, weighing the pros and cons of what would happen if Paramount or Netflix actually acquires Warner Brothers.
Because none of that matters to him. That's the thing. None of that matters to him.
None of it matters. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's what makes him happy, what makes him feel good at the end of the day.
I wonder if Birdman, Eric, or Ant are going to defend the bride just to go against the Whifters.
I think they will pretend that movie doesn't exist or blame it on
I doubt it, honestly.
I highly doubt it, man.
Well, to be fair to the Birdman, he did meet a short saying that he found Resident Evil 9 a disappointment, so maybe there's a little bit of hope on it. I'm fine.
Mark Ruffalo called James Cameron a Nazi because of his Netflix take. Oh, God. Anyways.
Oh, Lord.
Ruffalo is that one guy who really needs to learn to put a muzzle on it sometimes.
Yeah.
How about just all the time? He never seems to have a good opinion, so maybe just, Jack
He's an
Nicholson
old
is a very
man. What
famous
did you
actor.
think, man?
Actually, I said I dare Birdman or any of them to defend the bride because that was $175 million worth, and the budget was not good.
Oof.
No, I got
Well, according to Maggie Gyllenhaal, it's because
sexism.
She was inspired by Trump or something. So like,
Now, if I remember hearing correctly, she did one of those. Can't remember if it was actor on actor or director on director, but she said the moment she quote unquote became a director is the day after Trump was elected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Kiss my ass.
because I put in a super chat after I heard that. I forget who was covering it. I think it was like Real BBC or something. I was like, well, I don't know who this woman is, but I'm very glad to have gotten her a job. We create so many jobs for women.
Oh my
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
She's pulling an Elizabeth Banks. Yeah.
Even the ones who are not so pretty anymore, very old, very wrinkly, cabbage face. Some
Cabbage face.
She wasn't like a fucking looker back in the day, anyway.
Oh, I remember an article for her back in the day. It was whenever she turned like 30. I think it was like 37. And I remember the article. It had her like, arms folded on the little like cover photo or whatever. And it was like, at 37, I'm deemed too old to star in movies. I'm like, well, it could be just that you were kind of shit in The Dark Knight and nobody liked you.
Yeah.
I don't think it really has to do with your age. You stole Katie Holmes' job anyway.
Yeah.
Wait, are you talking about the chick that played Grace in The Dark Knight or someone else?
Rachel.
Oh, Rachel, my bad. Not Grace. Who the fuck is Grace?
That's the protagonist from Resident Evil 9.
Yeah.
Damn it. But yeah, I'm talking about Rachel. You talking about her?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen The Dark Knight in years. I forgot how the actress was in that movie.
Well, that's the funny thing, Jacob, because in the Dark Knight, and everybody's clowning on this clip now, it's always the Joker. They make a very big point of him going like, well, hello, beautiful, and you are beautiful. So, everybody's like, Joker, you really are crazy.
The actress who played Catwoman in Dark Knight Rises was hotter than
Anne
her.
Hathaway.
Oh, yeah, Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway. Yeah.
No contest between them.
No judgment.
You guys know who I thought would have been a really good Catwoman actress? She can't play her anymore because she's fucking
Lena Dunham?
dead. But if you transplant her into this time period, you know who I think would be really good at it?
Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah, Audrey Hepburn, right there. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Ana de Armas, even modern day, could make a good one.
Probably.
I agree.
She's
Definitely
got kind
her.
of that feline kind of movement and everything. I don't know.
Anyways, get back
She's
to
got
it.
that accent. Oh, so as soon as she'd start talking, you'd know who it is.
Anyways,
It'd be a
keep
step
going.
up from Halle Berry. But let's keep going.
Like the way Ant was just looking at us in the thumbnail there, like
He's like,
we
look
just
at these
read
guys
this
objectifying
entire
women.
Yeah, how dare we think women are hot? But anyway.
How dare we?
a bunch of chuds. I see.
How dare we like sexy women?
Yes, Rolando, this guy's a complete liar.
Why did Ant just turn into Mark Hamill's Joker?
Wow, Nelly. But anyways,
You're just one bad day away from that.
yep.
Oh no!
Mm-hmm.
And then when that happens, I'll be there and I'll be like, "Yes, Ant, you have completed your heel turn."
Hey, it's Alex, the critic. What's up, Alex?
Hey, Alex. Anyways.
Is a commentary guy who got famous for crying about Disney's Star Wars. So surely his...
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of other stuff, but
I like how
okay,
he calls
sure,
any
Ant,
criticism
whatever you
just
say.
crying. That's like their way of deflecting, actually, like respond. It's like
I mean, this guy's actually crying over.
yeah,
fucking-
it's always turn it around on them. It's like
Yeah,
when you're
like-
just crying about criticism.
So you're and if Trickle Drinker is just a commentary channel that cries over Star Wars, are you a commentary channel that cries over a commentary channel crying over Star Wars?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
It's the
That's
what
pretty
is
much
it?
all. That's pretty much all the people connected to and Eric debunks and all that. They're just like, oh, no, they're wrong. Cry, they're wrong.
It's the fallacy of what is it? Triviality. It's like it's the same thing whenever people say like, oh, sure, they changed all these things, but it doesn't really matter. It's like, well, if it doesn't really matter, if it's so trivial, then you could have just not changed it. Like, why make it a specific objective to always change things in a certain way? And it's
Also, Exhibit A right here. But anyway.
Yeah, Audrey Hepburn was hot. Yeah.
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 Oh, I can see it.
You have to have a certain like I don't know. That's why I mentioned like movement. You have to have a certain like kind of smarminess to be Catwoman. Like I have to believe that you could fool someone and use your feminine wiles to seduce and trick.
What about the original?
That's
actress? He was
sexist,
good,
man.
in my opinion.
His insight into this
They'll
massive
cast
business.
Lizzo as the new one. She'll be like trying to do the sexy walk and it just
We'll say,
jiggling.
besides Ana de Armas, another actress who I think could work. If you guys saw this movie, Knock Knock, Ana de Armas, Keanu Reeves,
Who's
and
there?
other lady in it, and was Lorenza Izo. That's no way I can see as Catwoman.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I can see it.
Isa Gonzalez from Baby Driver. I think that's her name. I think she could have worked.
She can also work, but she's also my other pick for Wonder Woman.
Oh, well, I'm still on Grace Carolyn Curry for that, but yeah.
I think I got it.
Wasn't she Mary Marvel already?
Right. There's another
Alright.
continuity.
Finker, well, he is a commentary guy who got famous for crying about Disney's Star Wars. So surely
What are
he
you?
is-
What are you? And what are
What are
you?
you,
man? What
bitch?
are you?
Yeah,
What are
what are you?
Buddy. He has he says some things are good and he recommends them. He says his opinions on shit that both of us agree with. You are just bitching because you don't agree with him.
I remember when Drinker recommended people watch Attack on Titan because he liked it, and that was a W take.
Yeah, I also remember Drinker shilling for Andor. That was a Disney Star Wars project.
But more importantly, you don't need to have like a fancy background to comment on current events to have an event. I don't like, and who is Anne to tell other people whether they can weigh in on something or have an opinion on something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you don't need,
and this
some
is
sort of qualification.
Yeah, this is the appeal to authority argument right here.
And quite frankly, even if he did want to do that, which I agree, I think that's totally like illegitimate because everybody's the media, everybody's the critic now. But it's Drinker is like a 14-time published author with like a successful book series, so he should at least be able to judge writing, and he can just, if Ant wants to appeal to authority, if he was like debating Drinker about this, he would just be like, "Well, I'm more qualified than you are."
And where's your book that you're still writing?
Wait, didn't Drinker have a movie as well?
Yeah,
like a short. Where's your movie, Ant?
It sucks, but even he acknowledges that it sucks.
Yeah, he even said that when Chris Stuckman's movie came out. He was like, "It's better than mine," basically. Like, but I also think it sucks. Like,
he acknowledges his movie sucks, and yet these motherfuckers want to keep using it as an excuse that he doesn't know what he's talking about.
And unless you make your own book or movie, shut the fuck up, please.
It's always been a stupid thing. 'Cause it's like if a quarterback goes out and throws 6 interceptions, you can say that he had a bad game, and yet people are like, "Well, I haven't seen you throw a football," and it's like, well, I think I still know that that's objectively a bad game.
No, there was this one comedian who like said, who like made this point with a pilot. You don't need to be a good pilot. You don't need to be a pilot to know someone didn't land a plane correctly.
Yeah. They crash, and you're like, "Wow, guess that pilot wasn't very good." They're like, "Well, I'd like to see you land it." It's like, well, I could hardly do worse.
Fucking Dave Meltzer has never wrestled a match in his life, and yet he's the most renowned wrestling critic ever.
That is true, yes.
Yeah.
into this massive business.
But I know
deal.
Jacob made a point earlier saying, by the way, the other chick Knock Knock is the director Eli Roth's wife. Yes, but and she is his ex-wife now.
Wah, wah.
And in the same boat as Edgar Wright, I'm also meeting Eli Roth later this year.
Tell him that Thanksgiving was actually a very enjoyable modern slasher.
Tell him to pick our show, Evan, so that way we can make a better show than Drinker made a movie. There you go. Just like I one up you, Drinker. Anyway,
I'm trying to imagine now, if Ant were to create a show, what would it look like?
I don't even know Velma, given the animated shit that he likes, but
Velma and Knights of Guinevere, but shittier.
But I think that point, like appealing to you have to be
authority.
Able to and like you have to do the job in order to like
you got to do the
job.
job. Yeah,
I think that's especially invalid with movies because in the end, your job is not to appeal to other directors, other writers, or whatever. Your job is to appeal to an audience that will consume. So you are literally beholden to the consumer's viewpoint. So the consumer has a right to give their viewpoint. In the end, you can't just, unless you want to make something so small budget that you can just sell to writers and directors and make a profit. Otherwise, you're asking for money from people and you're telling them that you're going to lose it.
It's in the name. It's entertainment. It's the entertainment industry.
Yeah, by and large, like I'm the kind of guy where it's like if there's like if this costs like money for me to fucking judge, like if there's a price tag attached to it, like I have a right to judge it, and it's even for stuff that a lot of people consider quote unquote free, right? Like this YouTube video Ant made, sure, it's theoretically free to watch, but I have to use the internet to pay for it, and the internet comes with a bill to use it and access YouTube. So yeah, I can criticize this too. Virtually everything is open to criticism by that point.
Your time,
time's a resource. Yeah.
Your energy.
Something you have to keep in mind is that for indie films, you can appeal to niche audiences, but if you're doing that on a massive budget, a much bigger budget, where you need to appeal to much more people outside of your niche audience, then that raises some red flags for the project because you're appealing to a smaller audience when you need a massive audience.
Yeah,
that pretty much encapsulates the entire problem or most criticisms towards the entertainment industry today, because they are trying to appeal to very small audiences when they should be appealing to much more bigger audiences.
It's one of the reasons why some indie movies don't really make all that money back. Like, for example, there's this one really weird movie that A24 put out a long while ago. I saw the TV Glow. And that movie was particularly made for a very, very, very niche audience. Like, all the people who watched that movie either said it made them cry or they hated it or didn't get it. And I heard a lot more people on the latter side than the former side. And I mentioned I saw TV Glow because I was on Tubi, and guess what's on there?
I saw the TV Glow.
Exactly.
Well, it's also very much like, yeah, you can appeal to a niche audience, but like if you have a large IP that appealed to a certain audience, you're kind of obligated to not give the middle finger to that audience too. There's an opportunity cost with everything, which is why I always find it funny whenever they're like, oh, like Predator, it made this much money. It's like, well, there's a certain baseline you're going to make given inflation and everything these days, and that it's sort of like if you made a really shitty Friday the 13th movie and somehow like you only made 3 times your budget. I would either say, oh, your budget was too high, or you didn't do a good job with that, because like you should be able to make a significant profit on those movies. And they're just like, oh, well, you know, whatever. It's just like, no, you got to factor in IP. You got to factor in time since the last one, whether it's a reboot or not. This is why I criticize Superman, because it's like you're getting your opportunity for a reboot. It might be your last one, and you wasted it on something that like maybe barely eked out a profit. Like, that's not good. That's an opportunity cost wasted.
They want everything for a specific audience. Yeah.
Goofer 3540, like he he makes a good point. Stuckman versus Markiplier both made niche movies, but only one knew the audience and banked. Yeah, Markiplier actually made use of his audience.
Right.
I mean, it does help too that both Stuckman and Markiplier already have pre-established audiences. Maybe that's kind of the reason why studios and distributors were more likely to pick up their projects in comparison to other directors. And
Right. But the difference is Stuckman lost his credibility the moment he said, "Oh, I'm not going to negatively movies anymore because
I'm just not going to give my opinion."
Yeah, Markiplier never said, "I'm never going to call a horror game bad again." And yet he made a horror movie.
He actually was he gave actually a pretty strong review, a scathing review against the latest chapter for Poppy's Playtime. Yeah,
And
I remember that.
I don't blame him for that. I saw the entire chapter and I was like, "Wow, this is a waste of time."
To be fair, I think mascot horror in general has really kind of worn out its welcome.
Yeah.
But what if we make another Five Nights at Freddy's though, Evan? Would you like that?
Okay, here's the thing. If you really want to make a mascot horror-esque game or whatever, I would say maybe not consider doing like a character that's like a big bear or a big animal that's really meant to appeal to the nostalgia side of things. Like, why don't you look at other kinds of properties and say, this could be a really interesting horror gimmick, like, say, a sitcom character.
Dude, the animatronic dinosaurs in Jurassic Park in Universal Studios. Imagine if you had like robot dinosaurs going around eating people.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can kind of see the appeal in that, but
something not cutesy,
they're still kind of getting close to the mascot horror thing, but yeah, it could be an interesting twist.
Evan, I think you would really like that Winnie the Pooh horror slasher.
I was just about to mention that.
Here's the thing. I know the movie. I absolutely refuse to watch it. I actually do know someone on another server that I am on who actually spent money to see it. He knew it was going to be shit, but he just wanted to see how bad it was. And he said the best part about that movie was just the animated beginning.
Alright,
Ant's face looks like someone stole his pudding cup.
Way! Anyways.
Valuable? No, that's not the right word.
It seemed like only yesterday I was reporting on the sale of Warner Brothers to Netflix after an intense bidding war with Paramount in $100 billion mega
it wasn't
deal.
Yesterday, it was actually several days ago.
I bet he will say some like well actually bullshit like this. Come on.
Seemed to signal a shift in the balance of power in Hollywood.
Drinker, I have to stop you there. You're off by about $18 billion for what Netflix offers.
You're
off by a couple dollar signs.
It was definitely the guy that
You're all
got
like
bullied on in school
zeros.
too much.
Yeah. The fact that Kato was that right, though, but okay.
Pre-watched.
If Netflix's offer for a part of Warner Bros. Discovery was indeed $100 billion, it would actually be worth more to the company than Paramount's bigger deal.
I just saw your thumbnail for this video with the ant avatar.
Hang on, I missed it here. Hang on, I gotta see it.
It's just
I just noticed it too.
It captures his personality so perfectly. I couldn't see.
Hang on, I gotta show this for all y'all like watching on my side here. Hang on.
Our side.
Our side, yeah.
Our side.
And the other side, right there. Why would you make this your icon, Ant? The fuck? What does this face even mean?
Drinker's like.
He's just
Should have had him drink and point up the middle finger.
Yeah.
I just imagine that Ant be like, "Yeah, I'm cool," and Drinker's like drinking is like, "Oh God, am I really gonna deal with this guy?"
Drinker's like, nah, it'll be fine.
That is his catchphrase.
Wanted all of Warner Brothers, whereas Netflix just wanted its movie division. The Warner Brothers part. But that's understandable. I'm sure Drinker's audience doesn't care about, facts or anything like that.
You don't care about facts.
Oh, the irony.
Coming from the most honest side of the internet that we all know.
Oh god.
Right.
I'm done with this guy, bro. Fuck off.
Oh, you leaving?
Fuck off.
No, I'm just tired of Ant and his hypocrisy. Oh, Drinker doesn't care about facts. Well, you are bitching about Drinker and not caring about the facts. I'm done.
It's over. You're by done.
Drinker isn't even done with his thesis, and yet Ant wants to say he's fucking doesn't care about that.
Right.
Yeah. But anyways.
The end for both the studio system and the theatrical release model, as all the major players were slowly being gobbled up and absorbed into the streaming giants. But then Paramount took a look at the situation and decided...
Maybe so, sir. But not today.
And promptly upped their bid to a frankly ludicrous $111 billion, at which point Netflix decided, yeah, fuck that, bro, we're out.
I won't beat around the bush here. Critical Drinker's video on the deal undercuts his own logic. Probably the whole logic of his channel.
Really?
Wow. You haven't even gotten to his logic yet, bro.
So was he right or was he not right that companies like Netflix are gobbling up every part of the entertainment industry to fit within their specific streaming model? Like, is that a lie? Because a lot of people in Hollywood share that sentiment and they're against streaming services like Netflix becoming more prominent.
Cedar
try to go the whole, well, actually, Paramount's bid wasn't that ludicrous.
Oh, fine.
Cedar, I think this is another thumbnail for the video.
Bro, look like he's taking a shit in the corn.
Yeah, and why do you have that fucking plushie in the top left right there?
How dare you? Take that shit down.
We're going to appeal to the kitties.
At every turn, he proves that he is not necessarily someone who should really talk about this topic. He doesn't understand the concepts.
But you're more
of
than
this.
qualified to?
Yeah,
because he frames it as the total destruction of the woke.
Oh wait, real quick,
That's not what
he's not.
What? What are you talking about?
He didn't even mention that at all. What are you talking about?
This
what are you saying?
one is grasping at straws.
Yeah.
Literally, the whole point was about the health of the movie industry, and he extrapolated it to mean, oh, it's like some victory against the woke.
He didn't say that at all.
What? I'm about to call him my favorite gamer word with the hard
Oh no! Don't get me canceled! No!
Do it!
But,
Yes, Darth Angel.
Wait a minute, Darth
Yes,
Angel is
I
black, so he's not really going to get anybody
okay.
canceled for him saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But, we
anyway,
do, but then again, we also all have the N-word pass, so we're not going to get canceled for it either.
Nobody's going to believe him because they're going to want to dox him first and be like, I'm going to find out if he really is.
Hold on, y'all want some proof? I'll give y'all some proof.
No, we believe you. But
He's gonna
I
show
got
his
super
white palm.
There you go.
Nice.
Super chat from $5 super chat from Rye Guy 1928. Ant absolutely loves being pedantic. Indeed, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The message is being under.
And so, I gotta split all them hairs right there. But anyways.
When in actuality, outside of CNN, yeah, not really. He demonstrates a lack of understanding of who he's supporting, as well as
rewind a bit.
Message is being undercut. When in actuality, outside of CNN, yeah, not really. He demonstrates a lack.
Pause.
Nigga, really?
As I said at the beginning, Netflix, while other entertainment industries have started to abandon their DEI initiatives, like Paramount and Disney, Netflix, on the other hand, has not. They have been very vocal in upholding it, and so they can be reasonably said to be more progressive or more focused on that direction.
Because that's going to help them out in the long run. Yeah.
Again, nigga, really?
Nigga, please.
understanding of who he's supporting, as well as what this means for the industry as a whole. Now, I won't go over every single thing wrong with the video. For example, I'll probably not talk too much about how Drinker depicts the conversation that Donald Trump had with David Ellison, the co-founder of Skydance Studio, and now co-owner of Paramount Skydance, and how he uses a lazy AI voice that is actually more articulate and verbose.
I'm not going to talk about this thing I'm currently talking about.
Yeah.
Always the
See,
same.
I would talk about it, but I'm not going to talk about it while I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
Also for the record, I'm also black, so I can say it when you enjoy.
W. Huge W.
Yeah, imagine Birdman watching this stream. He'd have a fucking heart attack, bruh. Anyways.
Birdman, you are a C-O-O-N.
We can always just do what he does. Deny it. Whenever someone brings up criticism, we can just, nah, you're wrong. And not have to like, ourselves. We just say,
You're
nah, you're
wrong.
wrong. That's it.
You're
We
wrong.
say that's wrong.
You're
You're
wrong.
wrong. You're wrong.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Well, no, it won't be. You're wrong. It'll be you're a trash panda. No, you're a trash panda. No, you're a
You're a trash panda.
Anyways.
Trump is.
Hey Don, any chance you could lean on the FCC and get them to approve that Skydance merger for me? I sure would appreciate it, buddy.
I don't know about that, Dave. People might have questions.
Well, if you could make this happen, I'll fire everyone at CBS and replace them with people who only say nice things about you.
Consider it done.
Well, y'all gotta admit that's funny.
I mean, that was good.
What's a joke, and don't you know what a joke is?
Yeah.
Okay, but do you guys know who his father, David Ellison's father, is?
No.
The third richest man in the entire world.
Larry Ellison, of Oracle, the Oracle company. Like he's one of the most richest men in the world.
God
So that's something to take into account when it comes to like, he doesn't have enough money to do this and that, because I'm pretty sure he does.
Right.
He just asked Daddy.
He already has a large sum of money, but it would probably help to borrow some from other investors.
Yeah.
I think in the mindset of a guy like Larison, he probably thinks he'd rather have more and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yeah, but the point is he has a lot of connections, so that should balance things out. I feel even if he accrues a lot of debt with this Paramount Warner Brothers merger.
Right.
It's just something to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
He's got more connections than even you, Evan, but I digress.
I want to focus on
Well, to be fair, he is the son of the third richest man in the world. So
Evan's like, well, I actually know Ellison, and he's my second cousin.
Here,
I
he
wish.
celebrates his deal, as well as how what he's celebrating maybe just undercut the entire point of his YouTube career, at least as he sees it. I call him
what?
If there is one dissenting, this is like saying that, like, oh, see, it totally undercuts your point that the news is biased because Fox News exists. It's like, even if this were true, that it turns into like a major right-wing thing, like that would be one studio, and that does not undercut the point that the vast majority are
I have a
severely
feeling that
leaning one
ants
way.
do smell like shit because he constantly steps in it.
If you have any doubt as to where and I say vast majority, it's like a seismic majority of Hollywood stands and what they ostracize as far as thoughts, look at the jokes that are made during any awards ceremony and look at the applause that it's met with. When if you make like a right-wing joke at the Oscars, you're not going to you will not get anything. If you make a joke like what's his face did at a recent awards show, the dude from the Daily Show now, Trevor Noah, I think is his name, and he was basically like, oh well, I can say whatever I want because I'm not coming back next year. Like he was trying to pull the Ricky Gervais, and he was just, he was like something like anti-ice or something. It's like, well, it's like, wow, you're not brave at all. I hope you realize that. Like you are literally just catering to the entire audience that was allowed here.
Exactly.
I'm a grifter because I think he's a grifter, but
Whifters.
You keep saying that word, but it pretty much, as time goes on, people are slowly realizing that the real grifters are you guys.
You keep saying that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I don't think.
But what is even like a grifter in this context? Just preferring Paramount. Paramount is the one merging with Warner Brothers, then Netflix.
Well, he
Yeah,
thinks
they
that
could-
Drinker is pushing a. I'm assuming what he means is like he thinks that Drinker is just pushing a false narrative to cater to like an audience that he just wants to keep mad. That nothing he says he actually believes in. That's usually what they mean whenever they're like talking about somebody being a grifter. Or at least that's what they say. I think it's just anything right wing, but it's like they always say that like oh. See, like your whole narrative is gone because there could be this one thing that's like more centrist, and it's just like, okay, I don't really see how that makes him a grifter at all.
Like it doesn't matter if he's right wing, left wing, or anything. Just give us the good movies, damn.
Right.
And ironically, if something does change now, would that not prove Drinker's entire narrative true? If like the Paramount stuff starts becoming significantly different from other Hollywood stuff, which again, it really hasn't thus far. But it's like, other than a few more centrist things like the Yellowstone series and other Sheridan written things, but it's like, wouldn't that, and you start like saying that it's intolerant or whatever, wouldn't that just prove that it's breaking from the Matrix? It's sort of like whenever Twitter did switch over and it was like, all of a sudden we're only investigating one social media platform. We're going to leave all the others alone because they all fit fine in what we want. Yeah. So it kind of ironically would just prove that Ant is a grifter if anything actually changes.
That's what he is deep down. He just doesn't want to admit it.
he's always talked about himself as though he's a man fighting the studio system,
That's
opposing these
not
decisions.
what he said.
Oh my
So
God.
one studio is not the studio system. One studio would be the exception in this instance if the thing that you're hypothesizing comes true.
Yeah. And I guess all of those films that Drinker recommended from other large studios, like totally, like that must have just like not exist. Like don't pretend that doesn't happen.
Right.
And Drinker, EFAP, and all the people you're up against, they never claim to be authority. They just criticize it. It's just a thing you came up in your heads.
Yes.
This guy's a fucking moron.
Yes.
Troll. But in actuality, this video is him licking the boot, and it's a boot that has traveled through
So
blood.
okay, are you licking WB's boot whenever you praise Superman? Is that what we're defining this as? You like anybody owning anything and it's licking the boot?
Or is it more so just him like glad that Netflix isn't the one who acquired Warner Brothers instead? Like that's to me what the sentiment I'm getting.
He's not even overjoyed about it. I think Drinker would probably have similar thoughts to about like consolidation and like probably it's I know Nerdrotic has said this that like anybody buying Warner Brothers is bad, where because he kind of views it. That's sort of the scope that I get, and I compared it more to gaming. But he's a big Hollywood guy, and he's like, as far as like what he studied, he does. Except Gary's supposed to be an expert gamer as a joke, but but he's like, you're getting fewer things under the umbrella. There's really not many big studios left. So anytime one of them buys another, that's really not a good thing.
Look at his
Arbery, holy shit.
Look at his fucking thumbnail thinking he was smart about it.
That's the school picture,
Also, Kino, why the hell do you think ants' lips are so big? Like they can't be naturally that big. You know what I'm saying?
Backseater with the majorly pertinent questions. Thank you.
I know.
Are you saying that you guys a facelift or something?
I don't know, man.
Collagen injections, I think, is what people get in their lips. I'm not asking the question, but I'm clarifying the question.
And are you secretly a Kardashian in disguise?
Oh my God.
Are you a homosexual? Anyways,
Scholars want to know.
Ant thinks Paramount.
Nothing wrong with that if he is. Nothing wrong with that if he is. No judgment here.
Well, I know he is, man. And scared Paramount will make a horror movie about pronouns and turn it into MAGA Studios.
How did we get here?
Well, there was what's it called? Scary Movie 6 that had the trailer recently where they were going against the system, and I think it was kind of a lame joke, to be honest. Like, just to show that I'm unbiased about comedy, even if unlike some people, like the comedy doesn't just have to agree with me; it also has to be funny. Like,
honestly, I found it a little funny, but I think the funny part is how everybody tried to cancel it over that stupid.
Yeah.
I found the backlash to it funny.
Yeah, the reactions is what causes it to be funny. It's more of like kind of the meta of it existing in Hollywood, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess I also found this sign she was holding to be pretty funny.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah, don't ban books except Harry Potter.
That is a better joke. That's pretty funny.
I don't see Harry Potter book. I wonder why.
He doesn't seem to recognize.
But what the hell does this even mean for the future of filmmaking, theatrical releases, and the massive slate of IPs and divisions under the Warner Brothers umbrella? Because let's not mince words here, Paramount now control a pretty massive slice of the media landscape. Not just entertainment IPs, movies, and TV shows, but news networks as well. What are they going to do with all this power?
Some of those they're listing, it's like The Conjuring. That's like a very specific... I know there's been spin-offs and whatnot, and they are profitable because
it's a whole cinematic universe around.
They're low budget kind of horror movies, because I know like Annabelle's gotten their trilogy and all that sort of stuff. It's just funny, like, to me, I don't know, putting them on the same level as like and Lord of the Rings is kind of funny because its story is done, so you gotta like
dude, we can literally make an entire Paramount cinematic universe. Like, imagine this: Harry Potter crossing over with DC, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. We got an entire multiverse worth of IPs to farm.
Yeah, there's so much variety. There is so much variety here that they can. The sky's the limit, and what they prioritize.
To be fair, I feel like once the merger is complete, they're going to have to sell off some IPs.
Yeah.
I can easily see them getting rid of a Mission Impossible.
Don't worry, Evan. They can make their money back by having Dora the Explorer be a guest character in the new Mortal Kombat game.
Oh, I hope with Looney Tunes they can just have them drop an anvil on the map, and then he'll be like, "But I'm already flat, so it has no effect." Haha. They can make a new what was that? They had a platform fighter like
the multiverses.
Yeah, they could do multiverses, but now adding all the other characters that they now have as well. They could have like Aragorn from Lord of the Rings pop in, and
yeah.
What are they going to do with
Puss in Boots wins?
With all this power and influence?
Good clip, Drinker, I must say.
That was good.
First focus on is what Drinker's perspective.
It would have been better if he had photoshopped David Ellison's face on Homer there.
Oh my god, that's gold.
What is all this?
He was covered in gold.
Look closer, Ant. Oh my god, Paramount! Oh my god, Paramount won the studio.
I do love though, like anybody who, like WB owned a significant amount of massive IP. Like it was always kind of a joke because they made the Lego movies. And for those of you who haven't seen, like they already, they had like all the different Legos show up, like all the Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, DC heroes, all these things. It was kind of a joke about how much they owned already, all the Godzilla, Kong, all that sort of stuff.
Even Ninjago made an appearance.
Yep. Anyways.
As a company.
But what does it mean for the entertainment side of things, which is what we're really interested in here? Well, based on Ellison's previous work as a producer for Skydance, it's not difficult to see where his creative sensibilities lie. He's very much an action guy, with a heavy lean-in towards male-driven properties with traditional heroes, and how can I put this? I don't think he's exactly a big fan of the message. In fact, considering Paramount Plus is rapidly
ain't gonna
turning...
be like, oh, Star Trek exists, so
probably.
Oh, 100%.
Into the Taylor Sheridan network, I think it's fair to say this guy sees Middle America for what it is, a potentially huge market that's been badly neglected in recent years, mostly by people who absolutely hate them. Imagine for a moment if there was a network that catered to their interests.
According to the Drinker, Paramount has become the world of Taylor Sheridan. And undeniably, Sheridan is a major...
No, he didn't say that. He just said
an example.
He just said he appeals to flyover country. That's it.
Yeah,
He said that he's not going to ignore the demands of Middle America.
Yeah.
And Taylor Sheridan is heavily worked by Paramount. I'm not convinced that it's because of who he appeals to. It's the fact that he makes their most popular shit. Like,
Right.
they're not going, oh, he appeals to Middle America, so let's give him more work. If you guys look, like, even whenever a Star Trek show premieres or something, which is kind of the other end of the spectrum at this point, with Kurtzman, the Taylor Sheridan shows mog them. They stomp them into the ground.
He's like, he's Birdman. I mog you.
Right, except I would never be so arrogant as to speak to myself mogging somebody. I'm talking about somebody else's work, mogging somebody else's work. Because if you look at their charts, it's like significantly higher than the Star Trek ones. Maybe like the week that they premiere, they might like get on the chart, but it's like they are quickly destroyed by the Taylor Sheridan stuff. So that's more just them being pragmatic businessmen. They're like, this is the most popular stuff we have. Please make more of it, Taylor, because it appeals to a lot of people who are apparently on our streaming service.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not like Taylor Sheridan shows were like ultra conservative or anything.
Mhm.
They're just stories within a cowboy setting.
Well, it's funny.
A lot of conservatives criticized it.
Neo-Western setting, Kino. There you go.
Western, fine, Western setting. But a lot of people still criticize it for its political aspects. They say that's kind of dumb. So yeah, it just has like wider appeal.
Well, and his trilogy of movies that kind of put him on the map for a lot of people, Prisoners, Sicario, Wind River, it was 2013, 2015, 2017. They were set in the American Modern West kind of trilogy. Prisoners was about like a suburban dad trying to find his son. Sicario is a lot about, they're on the border, they're making ventures into Mexico to get some drug dealer. And then Wind River is they're on an Indian reservation about, it's about these two, I think they're FBI, whatever, two investigators trying to find out a crime on, kind of limited authority on a reservation that operates somewhat independently. So it's all like modern day. It's all like kind of more rural areas kind of concentrated, aside from Sicario, which, being a border state and everything. But like, I remember very distinctly guys like Roca, all these like uber liberal reviewers, they were singing the praises. So he still makes things in that vein. He hasn't changed too much as far as his sensibilities, I don't think. Now, maybe the critics have changed to where they're like, oh, too middle of the road. I think most of them still praise what he puts out. And Hollywood is mostly liberal critics. I think very few would argue.
Well, John, there's something I think that has happened recently that has caused a lot of traditionally progressive and liberal people in Hollywood to move more towards the center, and that's the whole Israel-Palestine conflict. Because a lot of even regardless of where you align on that whole conflict, a lot of people showed that they are perfectly willing to be vocally anti-Semitic, and that has made a lot of people, Jewish writers, etc., extremely uncomfortable. So now they're going to, now they're much more likely to push back against traditionally held progressive ideas that were more so that were often originally treated as sacred cows.
Well, it's funny. There's kind of been a joke, and I saw it was actually on Screen Junkies movie fights that I saw this joke made, so it wasn't me making it, but it was a gay guy and a Jewish guy, and they said, they got in, there was supposed to be a debate show about movies, and so they got into a debate, and they jokingly said, it was a more lighthearted time, like 2015 or pre, where they were like, oh, you're a Jew, you control half of Hollywood. And he's like, well, you're gay, you control the other half. And so that was like a commonly held, like, before you were called hateful for it, that was like a fun joke that people would make, and it was very true. And I think it's not like as much of a cut and dry issue. So you even saw whenever that conflict broke out in like 2023, a lot of actors were being asked about it because, of course, the media always asks them about shit that they have no business asking them about. They're like, oh, what do you think about the war in Gaza? And they'd be like, oh, God. It was one of the few times where all the actors were just kind of like, oh, I don't really have an opinion, because it's like they hadn't really gotten their marching orders yet, and it wasn't like so cut and dry for them. They were like, I have people I'm beholden to. I have people that I'm not sure who I would deem hateful here, so it's not this easy thing for me. and so, yeah, you started to get a lot more of like a divide in Hollywood that you hadn't really seen before. And I think the other thing is just like practicality and financials. It's like eventually we want to be self-preservationists. It's like we can't just like always go with these things all the way to like never making a profit again. Like we eventually have to kind of be normal at a certain point.
Yeah, there's an experimental phase, and if it doesn't turn out well for them, then yeah, they move on. It's just a trend. What you're describing, John. Yeah.
Figure in the world of media today. For those who don't know, Sheridan created the series Yellowstone and its various spin-offs. It should be, of course, noted that Yellowstone started in 2017, and Ellison didn't acquire Paramount until 2025, so acting like Ellison is accountable for any of Sheridan's successes is kind of...
No, but that's not what he's saying. He's saying he noticed a Sheridan success, and he was inspired by it, and now he's using that as his business model.
This is normal, by the way, Ant. Like, you see what's most successful for your company, and you lean more into that. It's not that complicated. You're not supposed to be fighting the audience, constantly trying to correct their worldview. That is the abnormal thing that a lot of Hollywood studios do.
But what are you going to do?
For me to think Ant is trolling. I really hope he's trolling.
Stone is a major institution in television for a reason. It's good. It does appeal to a demographic that has been underserved. It's a good show. You won't hear me criticize it because, yeah, it's good. But there's just one problem with Drinker talking about Sheridan as a main appeal of Paramount today. Sheridan is leaving Paramount. In fact, he announced he's leaving shortly after Skydance.
Doesn't change his point at all. Doesn't change his point at all. That
right.
Point.
It just further strengthened his point.
Well, no. He's saying that Taylor Sheridan was the one, who. Look, the guy Ellison, he was inspired by Sheridan, but that wasn't him saying that Sheridan is what put Paramount on the map. It's his.
Yeah, he didn't say Sheridan's the be all end all. Yeah.
Yeah, he just identified. He just understood that he identified an audience that was underserved, and that's how he's going to be shaping his direction at Paramount going forward. Sheridan can be involved, or he cannot be involved, and that doesn't change the point.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, I was about to say beforehand, isn't Taylor leaving for Universal?
Yeah.
Its acquisition of Paramount. He signed a deal with Universal Studios, and Sheridan's contract with Paramount ends now, ends March 2026. The television deal ends 2028, but that means the things he's already started will eventually come to a close, and he won't start a new project with Paramount until then. Now, what's funny is Ellison proclaimed that Sheridan's talents were one of the reasons why he wanted Paramount in the first place, and the moment he gets Paramount, Sheridan leaves for his major competition.
Well, I guess was it necessarily his talents or what he was bringing to the table that no one else was, and now he's using that inspiration to leave work to follow in his footsteps.
It's like Drinker brought up a very general kind of idea of appealing to middle America and making regular programming. Some would call it centrist. He at no point said Taylor Sheridan was the only man ever capable of making such programming. That's what Ant seems to think, Taylor Sheridan has some sort of copyright or monopoly on this idea.
Yeah, right. You can make shows catered towards different demographics. There's not a monopoly on that idea.
Like Taylor Sheridan's a very skilled writer. I'm not gonna say he's easily replaced, but if you kind of look at his past work that's already on your streaming service, and
it's good. Yeah.
As with very many things, this comes down to the hiring phase, because there's a lot of shows that don't have like super left-leaning, virtue signaling, crazy culture war like themes at their base. They're just shit. But a lot of times, if you go back to the hiring phase, you do find all the culture war shit still influence them, because they hired people who weren't qualified to write these shows. It's why very often you'll call out a show and be like, this is a result of like modern Hollywood or whatever, and they'll be like, oh, there wasn't even anything woke in there. What are you talking about? It's like, yeah, I'm not talking about like that. I'm talking about like the fact that they clearly hired incompetent people and they have been rewarded for making more incompetent entertainment.
Yep. Anyway,
may finally rival Paramount Plus in terms of subscribers. So Drinker praising Sheridan as the figurehead of Paramount, well, that aged just as well as spilt Irish cream, didn't it, Drinker?
And just like that,
Paramount had pulled... not what he
did at all. Do you think Drinker is Irish?
That's not what he did at all, you Doomcough.
Doomcough? Is that Doomcock's brother? He's like, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, I have a doom cough. Anyways.
Victory from the jaws of defeat, seeing off Netflix in an exercise of raw financial power.
Is Paramount acquiring Warner Brothers a feat of financial power?
I do think Ant might think the Drinker is Irish. He just made a random like reference to Irish cream. He's like, is that like spilt Irish cream? It's like,
yeah,
he's Scottish, right?
Yeah.
Like you could say he's spilt Scotch. That would have made a lot more sense.
Anyways,
this guy's fucking face, man.
I know.
That's why I said. That's why
he's got one of the most punchable faces ever.
That's why I called him a Doomkopf in German. He's a stupid person.
Is that why you want to find him so bad, Backseater?
What?
Is that why you want to find him so bad?
Yes.
I'm just picturing Briscoe just like whenever he's not talking, because whenever he does talk, he just comes in this fucking face. I'm like getting redder and redder as Ant talks. It's just,
it's like Backseater. He's just like holding the anger in until it bursts out.
Angry video game nerd.
Anyways,
is it them showing their strength? Well, no, actually. If anything, it's financial stupidity. The deal is putting Paramount into an absurd amount of debt.
Well, Warner Bros. is already in an absurd amount of debt, so now
what is he talking about?
You're combining their debts.
That does not. What?
Couldn't you just argue that them being willing to shoulder that debt is also a sign of them being financial powerhouses?
Yeah. This is a high risk, high reward scenario potentially. If they actually fall through in with their plans.
Yeah, like I don't know how the fuck Warner Brothers is in so much debt, because they do own so much IP that makes so much money from like Universal Studios theme park and everything. Like those have been pretty successful, pretty notably. And they own like Harry Potter and shit that sells a shit ton of merch, but somehow they've managed it. I feel like just a simple change in management could be all they need, where it's like, oh yeah, just cut out all this useless fat and then you'll like make massive amounts of money on your merchandise.
Right.
Ellison said the combined company will have a net debt load of about $79 billion.
To give you perspective,
but now tell me how much money they could potentially make with their libraries now combined.
Right.
See, I feel as though he's just like fixating on the potential negatives and not the potential positives, because yes, it could likely fail. This merger could likely fail, and they could end up falling into debt and dissolving potentially. But like there's also the possibility that it could be successful, but he's not entertaining that possibility.
Like you should have bought the
Right.
Profits of both Warner Brothers and Paramount Skydance this past year combined will not be able to pay off the interest of the debt they're about to acquire. There is so much debt that Paramount has now put on themselves. Their stock has been devalued to junk stock, meaning it will be increasingly difficult for them to get loans, and they need loans to finance the movie.
Funny because
again, who is David Ellison's father? Larry Ellison, one of the richest people on the planet. He can give them loans if it comes down to that.
Well, and just to be clear, like that's not really a death sentence for a company. I remember very specifically when Sony was downgraded to junk status with their stock back whenever it was like mid-generation, like PS3, I think, like 2011 after the hack. They'd gone through all the losses of losing $200 on every fucking console and everything like that. And everybody was like, oh, next generation, they're gonna go bankrupt and they're all gonna fail. And what did they do? They made some smart investments. They made some good shit. They reallocated all their stuff to like be heavily into gaming and everything. And they ended up like saving themselves as a company. So a junk status is hardly a death sentence for a company. You can still borrow significant amounts. They clearly got a significant amount to make this deal.
If I didn't know any better, I would accuse this man of being financially illiterate.
Yes, you lack financial literacy, Ant.
My God, can you imagine if they actually made like a number of good games based on these fucking IP? They would probably make like billions of dollars off of these things.
Yeah, could you imagine if they made an entire cinematic universe out of all these IPs? They'd make billions of dollars.
That might be a bit disjointed, but maybe.
I mean, it could work.
SpongeBob is like, I've got the One Ring, Frodo.
Yes, that's the shit we want to see.
Sauron, the fucking Witch King starts stabbing him, and it's just like whenever that fish tried punching him.
Oh yeah, flats. Yeah.
He's just like,
and then the White Walkers just come out of
Ant.
nowhere.
That's Ant trying to punch me right there. Anyways.
Are you fucking serious?
Production studio, but that means they often get financing from third parties. But also, the deal hasn't been signed yet.
That's your biggest defense. The deal hasn't been
okay, but like
signed
Netflix bowed out. Like that was one of the reasons that they didn't want to bow out, is because Netflix had some sort of buyout for this deal where like basically if it didn't go through, they had to pay like $5 billion anyway, I think it was. And so that's why Paramount had to make such a significantly bigger offer. And don't quote me on that, Ant. You know, I know you're gonna go like, "Oh, you a couple billion off, dude. You'll get you." But it's like it was somewhere around there. But I'm talking off the top of my head. I'm like, Birdman will never do live shit because he has to always have pre-prepared numbers to confirm his biases. Anyways, yeah, it's like that was why they had to significantly overperform Netflix's offer. And I believe Netflix even said they said they had some statement recently after this most recent offer where they were like basically like, oh, it's not financially responsible for us anymore to like pay this much for this. So it's pretty much done. Now it has to go through like federal approval, but like quite frankly, this is where the politics may come into it, because if they weren't going to block Netflix, I highly doubt the current Senate and House makeup is going to block any sort of Paramount buyout. But it's just a guess. I mean, if Ant wants to put money on the opposite, he can.
Anyways.
And they will need loans to complete said deal, which means, on top of everything else, they might not be able to get the funds to pay off the deal in the first place. They played around with money they didn't have and then made it harder to get the money to close the deal. If they can't close the deal, they owe Warner Brothers $7 billion. Just like they paid Netflix $2.8 billion for making sure their deal was voided. Which is probably why David Zaslav, the current head of Warner Brothers Discovery, seems so cavalier about the merger. He sold tons of shares of Warner Brothers Discovery stock right when Paramount's going to buy that stock for $31 a share, which is far higher than its current value. Seems kind of odd, doesn't it? Why would you sell your shares if you're going to get more money for all those shares from Paramount? Unless Zaslav believes that deal won't close. The reason why is because it's not a move for financial health.
Twitter stock went down when Elon bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like pretty normal to me.
Right.
People like when it comes to like selling and buying stocks, you have to make assumptions and take gambles and educated guesses.
Also, instability usually makes a stock go down. Like, this is why, like, a lot of people on election nights, they'll be like, if somebody wins who they didn't expect, they'll be like, "Oh, this look at his effect on the stock market." And it's like, yeah, that'll last for a short term. Normally, things to be simple, predictable, kind of boring. It's kind of what investors like. Doesn't really say anything for their ability to borrow. Quite frankly, I think he could get enough investors. Dad can pull the strings, or Elon will swoop in and be like, "I'm going to own these fucking libs," and like put his investment up or something. Like, I'm 95% sure that they're able to get enough secure financial backing for this.
Desperation. CNBC did a study analyzing each studio's share of the domestic box office in 2025. As expected, Disney and Warner Brothers dominated, with Disney having 28% across its various studios and Warner Brothers having 21%.
This changes year to year heavily, and also doesn't factor in budgets, number of releases.
Lilo and Stitch might have been good for some people, but that still doesn't mean it was good.
Well,
exactly.
And like, Disney had a horrible year. What was it? It was basically like 2019 was their huge year. They had like $7 billion films, essentially, between Star Wars, Marvel, all these things. And everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, Disney, they got such a monopoly. They're the biggest company ever." And then like a couple years later, they were doing horrible. And it was like, "Oh, it's all COVID's fault." It's like, well, other movies are much more successful, so I don't think that's it. And it was basically like, things change, things fluctuate depending on what IP are releasing that year, depending on just what hits, what's good, and what you're able to build over time.
Right there, that's almost half. Universal/Focus had an additional 20%, which seems pretty substantial, doesn't it? Sony and Crunchyroll, bizarrely enough, had 7%. What do you mean
bizarrely enough?
Okay,
Demon Slayer made more than Superman, you fucking idiot.
So something Ant isn't understanding is, okay, how did they acquire how do they make all this money? Through IPs, like through traditional IPs. And like through this merger, the Paramount Warner Brothers merger, they have more access to IPs. So they just need to play it smart and play with use these IPs in a way to make money. And it's really that simple.
Also, and I hate to tell you this, but the new Jurassic Park was doing way more better than Superman.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, that's why I said, like, the number of releases is kind of important. Because, yeah, you can make a percentage of the box office. That's kind of a meaningless number. If you blew your whole load on things or spent more money than you made, then that really is... You can just win by volume at that point, and you'll call it a victory. It's like, okay, that's kind of like that's like a World War I Pyrrhic victory, where you're like, "Oh, we sent 1 million of our soldiers over the trenches. We won. We took this land." And it's like, yeah, but we lost like 300,000 guys. And it's like, yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Disney's
we have
theatrical lineup is
reserved.
packed with major sequels and live-action remakes, including Snow White, major flop. Lilo and Stitch, big profit. I'll give it credit, even though it was shit. Elio, that was a pretty big flop.
Yeah.
Freakier Friday, nobody gave a shit. Zootopia 2, big profit. So basically, they made money off a live-action remake of of a previously successful animated film, which those almost always make money. There's some exceptions, and they made money off the furries. Because that was like over $2 billion at least of their box office. Zootopia 2, I'm not sure what it ended up with. It was well over $1 billion.
Yeah.
And Avatar Fire and Ash. So like the Marvel shit was all like not really making money. It's kind of fallen off. There's not going to be a new Avatar for a little while. Fantastic Four didn't do shit. Thunderbolts didn't do shit. Captain Black America didn't make shit.
Nigga man.
Yeah, like I'm trying. Those were the 3 major Marvel releases, right? I don't think there was anything else Marvel.
Nope.
Yeah, and like there was no Star Wars, of course, because they retreated from Star Wars for like what's it going to be 7 whole years before Mando comes out from their last one. So yeah, they made a lot of money off a couple heavy hitters and a lot of failures.
I was saying Demon Slayer made like less than that. It was one of the most popular things at the time.
Yeah, like Sony was probably the most top heavy because I know Demon Slayer made like over 700 million. I mean, yeah, and the fact that he's not factoring it now, he doesn't care about budget all of a sudden again, of course. Because Demon Slayer notably had like a $20 million budget. They never pay Japanese dude shit because they love working. But it's like, so that alone probably made more profit than like Superman and all the Marvel movies together this year.
Right.
Yep.
A24 with 3%, and Lionsgate with 4. Smack dab in the middle with 6, Paramount.
Squeeze.
And by the way, that's prior to Ellison acquiring Paramount. Ellison is so small with Skydance Studios, he's counted in other, which comprises of 6%.
What does that matter?
What the fuck does it even
He
mean?
owned a smaller company, so he made less box office. Wow, got him.
Got him! Anyways.
Well, he owns it now.
Contribution to the domestic box office is remarkably minor. But don't worry, it gets worse for Ellison as we keep going.
Oh, because
Ellison
that was
has
bad
only
for
been
Ellison
successful
that he didn't
so far.
own any major IP and didn't
Right.
make a lot of money. It's
Wow.
like, it's even worse though.
Yeah. Hey guys. Like, here's how this major success for Ellison is. Instead of paying attention to this major success for Ellison, look at all these like unrelated failures. I just don't get it.
I know. Anyways.
Thanks to recognizable IP, and many of his big IP are wearing down their welcome. Skydance started primarily with the start.
You're gonna say that, but you're gonna glaze Disney
No.
Marvel and their 28% without talking about their IP.
No, and the IPs are not wearing the company down. They could actually bring it up, but the problem is that they're hiring stupid people to do stupid things.
Right.
What? So yeah, like I mentioned, like Avatar is not going to get anything for a while. That was a big part of that 28%. So if you wanted to bring up IP, you could certainly bring that up. And it was a significant decrease in the last one. I realized it was still significantly profitable, but we have seen a notable downturn in the Avatar IP.
Like
So
I
that
said-
could be eroded.
Like I said, John, everybody just wanted to see crazy blue chick.
Yeah.
And her bloobs.
I know I did.
You know, he could have given her A-list Sakura once, but he chose not to, and just her tiny ones. But the other IP is, I mean, the live action remakes, they've pretty much run the well dry. That's what nobody wants to address on that one. They've already done the whole Disney Renaissance. They've done most of their Golden Age, a lot of which are not profitable, like Snow White. They're not guaranteed hits either. How many more big successes are left in the live action remakes? So that's major IP degradation, I would say.
Look, the funny thing is Disney, if they actually focus on things that most people don't remember, like the Black Cauldron, and made that a remake, maybe it could work.
Well, they would have probably more creative freedom because they wouldn't be as beholden to make it like an awkward one-to-one remake of an animated thing.
I'm just waiting on them to try their hand at either Pocahontas or Oliver and Company.
Oh, they would love to try that one.
I'm waiting for them to try their hand at Song of the South.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways.
Makes $1 billion in Alabama alone.
Here's another one. They can try Up. Who knows?
No,
they probably will do that one. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
They're probably going to do a live action Toy Story if they really want to start.
Yeah, they already confirmed it.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Not
that
the choice.
one's. I guarantee the first one of those will probably make $1 billion because they'll
Not the
be
choice.
like they'll play the slow trailer version of "You Got a Friend." Don't. You got a friend.
Have you heard any of Randy Newman's other songs?
No.
I mean, I probably have. None of them are memorable enough for me to rattle off.
well, there are some good ones. He likes to say the N-word in some of his songs.
Oh shit!
Aw,
Oh yeah.
He's like Darth Angel words.
My favorite game of word with the hard
Yeah.
R.
Anyways.
Track the J.J. Abrams film specifically, and Mission Impossible. And it's primarily stayed there, with the big exception being Top Gun Maverick. They've produced many other shows as well and many other movies, but none as big as those, because they don't really make much money outside of their key IP and Top Gun. Like, yeah, Mission Impossible.
Gee, it's almost like they need more
successful.
key IP. I wonder what company they could buy to supply such a thing.
I wonder. God, Ant is such a.
It's
fucking
such a
fuck.
mystery.
Schweinhund.
Ant,
Except for
I
the
have
most
a
recent
question for
one.
you. Do you snort glue by the hour, bro? Just
Nah.
a question, bro. Jesus Christ! Even the most baked potato would know this.
Yeah. Anyways.
It's Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Hmm.
Now, conservatively, the break-even point for this is $800 million.
That's so
Yep.
much
Yet
money.
again.
It's also been reported.
Yeah, but he has to reiterate his
What does
point.
he have against Tom Cruise and or Mission Impossible? Jeez.
I don't know, probably because Tom Cruise hated Dragon Age Failguard. Probably.
no.
John, don't you see Tom Cruise? He's a mature, strong alpha male. He's a national treasure.
Oh, he's a
Yeah.
midget, but also yes, he is in his movies. He's an alpha male.
Right. Anyways.
That it's closer to a
Birdman.
billion.
We all
But
know
this
what
made
his
598
attack on
million.
Tom Cruise would be. He'd be like, "You're very short, Tom. I'm more handsome than you are." Blah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Dollars. So just shy of 600. A Mission Impossible movie should be a success if it makes $600 million.
I know, right?
That's a given, right?
The most recent one
The
was
problem
over
is
the
with the
budget.
budget.
What?
That can be easily corrected, by the way. Like, I don't even know what he's.
I'm gonna check, but I'll keep playing the vid.
Most of the Mission Impossible movies did not make like I think Fallout was the most successful one. And it didn't make like $1 billion, I don't think. I think it made like 800 something million. Pretty sure like Mission Impossible 5 made like 700 something million. So like none of them would have been profitable but that budget. It was a crazy budget.
Okay.
And that was under previous ownership, as Ant just made that point that he didn't own it yet. So if he'd gotten it down to like a $150 million budget, even a $200 million budget, you would have had a 3 times return.
Okay, The Final Reckoning 2025 concluded its theatrical run with approximately 595 with 599 million worldwide. 100, which means 199 million domestic, 401 million international. Due to a reported 400 million production budget, the film is considered a box office flop, with estimated suggesting a loss of roughly 200 million.
Okay, and for Mission Impossible Fallout, it had a budget of 280 million, and had a box office of 791.1 million. So let's see, how much was Final Reckoning? It was, yeah, so it had a bigger budget of 300 to 400 million with a 598.8 million box office. So
yeah.
On
deserved.
rewatches, I still I love Mission Impossible Fallout. I did not get the same feeling from Dead Reckoning or Final Reckoning. So
Right.
they
Yeah,
did
they're not
not
as
need that.
they're not as good at movies.
Yes.
But like literally at the budget of any of the previous ones, a $600 million box office would have been profitable.
Yes.
So like it was only the budget on the final films that was crazy. It was unrealistic expectations.
Yeah,
Like,
so
the franchise
despite-
had been gradually growing, but it wasn't going to leap up to that level.
Yes, yeah, so basically, performance-wise, despite having the franchise largest opening weekend at 79 million, it failed to break even.
All right. Anyways,
probably lost a good deal of money because it didn't make a whole lot back. But it was the big grand finale as well, which means
it didn't make
you can't
anything
trust
back.
Mission Impossible.
He's still trying to push his bullshit with if it outdoes like the budget, then it's profitable.
It didn't break even, and what the fuck?
He has to maintain that stance though because he can't admit that other movies are failures. So he's got to maintain the like, oh, if it outdoes the budget, then it's good.
Oh my god!
Well, to keep pumping out films, that whole line is done. Tom Cruise is stepping back from it. But Ellison did produce Top Gun Maverick, which is one of the best action films in recent memory. Sure. Or rather, Tom Cruise made Top Gun Maverick. You see what I'm saying?
You can't say no. You can't say that after you just bashed Tom Cruise for failing with Dead Reckoning and Final Reckoning.
Now we can't give credit if a guy who, as an actor, is a significant producer on a film. We can't go with the studio where they're producing. He didn't own it then. Like, there are so many things wrong with this point. It's difficult to know where to start. It's like, okay, for one, Ellison didn't own Paramount at that point. Those films were greenlit. For two, yes, a lot of actors end up getting producing credits as they become more established. Even Sydney Sweeney on The Housemaid and shit, she has producing credit. I know what's her face, Amanda Seyfried does, and she didn't even know about it. Like, that's how much a lot of times producers don't even know that they're the fucking producers because like literally Amanda Seyfried said this like, like I didn't know I was until we were well into production and somebody asked me my opinion on something. Like
most of the time, from the way I see it, some actors get producer credits only because if the studio doesn't like give them the amount of their asking fee, then usually they try to comp them by giving some kind of a creative control, or in this case, a producer credit.
Or like
creative control, brother.
They get some back end payout if they don't get the front end payout. Like, I'll get a certain percentage of the box office.
They could just wag their finger and go, "That don't work for me, brother."
Well, that's what RDJ. Everybody always talks about. Like, oh, he jumped from I think he was like 500K on the first Iron Man to like 5 or 7 million or something on Iron Man 2, and then he was like 50 million for the first Avengers. It's like, wow, how do you negotiate that? It's like, well, it was kind of a back end deal. It's because the first Avengers made so much money that his back end deal ended up being extremely profitable.
Right. Yo, guys, check this out. Apparently, James Gunn missed David Ellison's first Paramount W.
That's because David Ellison was too busy railing his wife in the break room, and James Gunn had to watch it.
That's the first sign that you know this universe is gonna die.
Oh yeah.
Also just put his finances behind a recognizable IP from the 80s and let them go to work with the creative side of things. Most of Ellison's successes in the creative world are Tom Cruise vehicles. But despite Cruise being the man responsible for establishing safety protocols during COVID, the very thing Trump made infinitely more difficult, Ellison owes Tom Cruise.
Do we have COVID? Do we have those same measures now?
What the fuck relevance does COVID have? Yeah, it's like that's not going to make any difference.
Hey, Ann, you forgot that there was a video there was an audio of two people not wearing masks because they were technical or something, and Tom Cruise was just screaming his fucking lungs out.
So he's saying that like, I don't know, like Tom is anti-Ellison because he believed in COVID protocols very vehemently, which by the way, who knows what his motive? He might have just been being practical, because I know this might be foreign to Ant and some of his ilk, but like sometimes you do things you don't want to do or believe in just because you're abiding by the rules of the system. Like I have heard Tom Cruise's rant on that. It doesn't sound like he's not making like a scientific argument going, you all need to get vaxxed or something. He's like, we need to do this so that we can continue.
I don't want to get shut down. I don't want all this money to go to waste because of you idiots.
Yeah. It's kind of like if I'm yelling, if I'm in a classroom in high school.
Fat soup, yeah.
Yeah, if I'm in a classroom in high school and everybody's talking, and I know we're all going to get like detention afterwards, everybody stops talking. I'm not like advocating for the rule. I'm like, hey guys, shut the fuck up because I don't want to stay after school, you dumb fucks. Like, it doesn't mean that I believe in the rule. It means that I believe in being practical and like not wanting to get punished for shit.
I want to go home.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you just got to play by the rules. It doesn't really mean that you believe fervently in the rules. Like Tom Cruise was pushing to release Top Gun in theaters when a lot of people wanted him to just release it on streaming, and he held it because A, he believed in it, and B, he didn't want to like give into like the streaming future and shit. He likes the theatrical Release.
That face Ant's making right now is basically saying, "No, John, you are wrong."
How could you ever do something that you don't 100% like philosophically believe in? It's like, well, it's called practicality, and toughen up, Buttercup. Like sometimes you gotta do shit you don't like.
Sometimes, Ant, we all gotta do the JOB, brother. Yes.
For Skydance's recent successes. Without Tom Cruise, they probably couldn't afford to buy Paramount as a company. And Paramount has struggled to make money under Ellison's current reign. Sure, it has TV stations, but most of that was reruns of stuff that already existed.
He's barely taken over.
They had Sonic. They had Sonic 3. That Knuckles show. Plenty of other things that I can name. What the fuck do you mean that they were struggling?
This is like insulting a presidency like a month into it, because you're like, oh, geez, you didn't immediately turn everything around, you loser.
Listen, you haven't.
No.
Therefore, you're wrong. Therefore, you're bad.
It's like the exact opposite with James Gunn, where he's saying that he's already like an overwhelming success, despite not having a whole lot of projects out.
Yeah.
James Gunn barely even started, and Anthony. And Ant is already of the opinion that it's an overwhelming success with little to show for it.
Most of it being TV shows. To his current point, he's had one movie, and it's like, oh, but now we're going to dismiss the TV shows because it doesn't fit my narrative because they're successful.
Dates Ellison. Is Ellison profiting off MTV? Bar Rescue reruns? All stuff that predates him. Paramount Plus remains a low.
Bar Rescue is cool.
Okay, are you
Although
going to install Kathleen Kennedy's?
It is a pretty fun show. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree.
Well, yeah, but it's like
success. It doesn't matter if he inherited it. Like it's still success.
Pre-existing shit like does not reflect on the current. If he's gonna, it's so hilarious to me that he's bringing up this point, because it's like, I'm sure that you brought up successful Star Wars stuff. Even though Kathleen Kennedy didn't invent that, she was undoubtedly benefiting from legacy of success. And yet you're going to be like, oh, well, she made a $2 billion film. It's like, oh, gee, Aunt, I wonder why it made $2 billion. If it was a new IP, do you think Force Awakens would have made $2 billion? And yet you'll give her credit for that. This is the first time I've ever heard you bring up this point. Now you finally recognize that legacy IP has financial power. Thanks. Welcome to the club, buddy.
The rest of the stuff, like Disney or even Warner Brothers, it's running on Yellowstone. The biggest prospects of this year for Paramount financially are the Angry Birds movie and Paw Patrol. I mean, guess Street Fighter as well, or Scary Movie 6, but none of those are going to cross.
Well, in the case of Paw Patrol, you know for sure Zuma fan's going to rent out a whole theater for himself.
Zuma fan's like, I need room. I need my shooting range. Here we go.
Zip.
Zip.
Oh, Rubble, please. Oh, anyways.
Dollars, I assure you. Oh, and I guess Ellison was also accountable in part for the Transformers films. I mean, the ones no one likes anyway. Not Transformers 1.
But what does it mean for the entertainment side of things?
I like Transformers 2 and Transformers 3. What the fuck you talking about?
Wait. What does he mean no one liked it? So he's shifting like it to a quality argument instead of like in terms of like box office. The Transformers movies still performed good at the box office, even if they're shit from a quality standpoint.
Look, Beast Wars may have not been the best, but I still like it more than the Michael Bay movies.
I like it more than 4 and 5, I would say.
That's also a good argument, but still, what the fuck is Sam talking about?
I don't know at this point. I'm fucking.
Does anyone ever fucking know what this fucking retard's talking about?
I keep saying that I don't think, as John put it, that he's just an idiot. But I just like to think he's ignorant. But every time he opens his mouth, it's just proving he's an idiot.
I am so disconnected from this shit now that Ant got me playing Soul Silver again. Holy shit.
I'm just going through Instagram as we speak.
Like fucking Christ, how are you this dense to understand that the man is not thinking what you think he's thinking?
Christ almighty, bro.
Their brains, they don't fucking function like normal people. It's just you say one thing and their fucked up fucking brains fucking translated into something else because their brains are so fucking warped, and it's fucking fascinating.
Listen, Briscoe, Listen, Briscoe, I get we're fucking retarded, but we're not retarded as this.
Right.
Like I'm fucking stupid, and I don't understand most of the stuff that you keep talking about. But at least I try to understand. I like ants.
I'm not the smartest guy on the planet, but this is a new level of retardation that I would not wish upon myself. Retardation. This is a new level of retarded that Patrick Starr is smarter than this motherfucker. Holy shit.
Yo, Kino, you got anything to say to what he just said?
Like all of these numbers that are floating around on screen right now is like how they fucking it's like you say the simplest thing and then this is their the numbers are their whole process here, and then it gets fucking shot out of their fucking mouth like fucking this garbled up fucking shit that doesn't make any fucking sense because they've translated it through their warped fucking stupid brains.
Ant probably watched one too many episodes of Death Note and thought he was like Yagami.
Yeah.
That was a good series, by the way, but the book was better.
Yeah.
Okay, it says here, Transformers Rise of the Beast, which featured the Beast Wars animals, grossed approximately $441.7 million at the worldwide box office, yada yada. Approximately, the budget was approximately 195 to 200 million before marketing costs.
Jesus.
Worldwide, 441.7 million, and that would be 177.3 million domestic and 284.3 million international. So what the fuck is Ant talking about?
I don't know anymore, man. I'm zoned out. I'm done with this shit, man. Just let him talk. Let him talk.
We're really interested in here. Well, based on Ellison's previous work as a producer for Skydance, it's not difficult to see where his creative sensibilities lie. He's very much an action guy, with a heavy leaning towards male-driven properties with traditional heroes, and how can I put this? I don't think he's exactly a big fan of the message.
Everybody's celebrating Drinker's point that he just made.
Fucking Red Bull.
Red Bull gives you wings to get out of this review.
Sticky V, sticky my tongue.
I'd rather watch these stupid ass ads than this shit.
Yeah, me too.
I think whatever Backseater is doing is more interesting than what he's doing than what we're doing right now.
He's like, why do these ads or why does this video keep interrupting my ads? Damn it!
I mean, I'd rather watch my cock get smaller than fucking.
Oh my god!
I'd rather watch WrestleMania 9 than watch Ant. You know what I'm saying?
rather not watch that, Briscoe.
Well, I didn't say you had to. I would.
That's saying a lot because WrestleMania 9 is one of the worst pay-per-views.
I do love
WWE
Drinker's
ever made.
graphic here. I have to say, he's got
Briscoe, you went too far. Don't you know that Kino has a cameraman so he can see it more pixelated?
Oh no, and it's forever preserved on his memory card.
I like how there's just a random old lady right next to the Self-Justice.
Well, you know, this particular graphic, they have to give everyone.
What the fuck is the traveling family in the middle? They just like got their luggage and a kid, and they're just like, why is that even part of equality?
Equal rights, equal flights. You know what I'm saying?
Let's address this point right here by Drinker. Does Ellison exclusively produce action films?
He didn't say exclusively.
No.
He said largely.
He leans towards action films. He leans towards action films.
Yeah. Not to mention, if you look at the list that Ellison produced, he also produced Spellbound, which was an animated movie with Rachel Zegler.
It's like James Cameron leans more towards fucking action films, but he also made Titanic.
Yeah.
Right.
Roland Emmerich leans towards disaster movies, yet he made that one movie that's Shakespeare. Like, creators can have oddballs, and
it's not out of the norm.
Every director and every producer, it's not much of a monolith thing where they always produce one particular niche area. Like, look at Sam Raimi, for example. He's mostly known for his horror films, but he also has the Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah.
He also did that one weird Wizard of Oz movie, but yeah.
He did Dark too, but
he can make like a weird film, but that still wouldn't overshadow his reputation as a horror icon, like an iconic horror director. Yeah.
Yep.
But let's see what the rest of the band's point is.
No, he doesn't. Does Ellison refuse to make woke movies? Also, no.
Okay, so this needs to be addressed. This needs to be addressed, but those films like Dark Fate, etc., those were during a time when like peak wokeness, I guess you could call it, where it was like being pushed onto people to see if it will work, and it failed.
Miserably.
The Ghostbusters remake, that failed. The Charlie's Angels reboot, that failed. The Ocean's 11 reboot, that failed. I can go on, but people like notice these failures. Hollywood executives notice these failures, and they don't repeat it if they're not making money. So it's not too hard to imagine that Ellison knows that these are failures and that he's going to not repeat those same mistakes if he's not pushing them now.
Yeah, and you can't use Terminator Dark. You can't use that movie because it was universally hated even by hardcore Terminator fans. They would rather see Salvation.
To be fair, Salvation wasn't all that bad.
Like I said, it's not that. Yeah, like I said, if you have to choose between that one or Salvation, I would choose Salvation every day.
Oh, 100% Salvation. I would rather suffer through that again.
Nice.
And you know why I know that? Because it's something that I can tell Drinker didn't do, because I can see what links he pushed on the screen. I actually went through Ellison's entire body of work. And let me tell you, Ellison doesn't really care about fighting.
I mean, he could.
You must be very proud of yourself.
But that doesn't change his point at all.
Right. Congratulations, you did basic research. Do you want a cookie?
And even if you did, we don't believe you.
Right.
As much as you think. I noticed you only clicked on a few of those links right there. You fucked up by not clicking on the rest, I assure you.
You have to click on every link or else your pointer's invalid. You didn't click on Top Gun Maverick. Whoa, I got you there.
You didn't click on Terminator Genesis.
You didn't click on Spy Kids Armageddon.
What the fuck? Armageddon? What?
I never heard of that either, I'll be perfectly honest with you.
Wait, what was that?
Yeah, it was basically a continuation of a new set of kids that were spy kids, and the old ones were basically still working on the agency.
Oh my god!
Oh wait, if they're older, then they're technically not kids anymore. Like,
it's on another family. Teenagers.
All right, so correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been a while since I've seen the Spy Kids movie. Is it like a Kids Next Door thing where?
Yes.
You need to be kids, but you grow out of the age and you're decommissioned and your memories are wiped and you...
No, because their parents are spies and they get credit. That's why they have to go in the first one. So it's more like a family of spies.
Yeah, that movie basically follows another family that figures out that their mother was a spy.
So it's more of a bloodline kind of thing than specifically kids.
But the old characters, Junie and Carmen, were still around, but they were just like running the agency.
Jew-knee. I think I see the connection.
Anyways. Oh my gosh, John, I'm on X, and Joshy Boy right here, from Den of Nerds, he says, I think I like One Piece even more. I think he means the live action show specifically.
Yeah.
I think I like One Piece even more because it stands to counter to the grumpy, fan-hating internet culture that has really set fandoms back. Like, fuck y'all haters, lol. And it's that dopey fuck who plays Luffy doing a fist pump.
Dude, I saw that earlier. I couldn't even comment. I'm just like, Joshy Boy, you've already clowned on yourself too much. I can't take this easy ass bait. Especially when they make the show, they make so many of the characters more stoic. Like, Nami in the show will be like, whoa, Luffy, you're crazy. You need to stop. And she'll like fucking strangle him and shit. And then and Nami in the live action show is like, Luffy, you're gonna get us killed. Let me calculate this. It's like, wow, that's really crazy and optimistic, Joshy Boy.
Nami, the person who does shit for money.
The greedy gold digging gal. We can't have that. We just need to have her be more stoic.
My God.
Anyways, let's keep going here.
Yes, Ellison did produce Top Gun Maverick. He did produce Mission Impossible. He also produced Terminator Genesis, Dark Fate, and Zero. The bad one, the controversial one, and
the bad ones. He is continuing the success that he has found from Top Gun Maverick. What does that tell you, Ant?
I wouldn't say
he has nothing else. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Genesis wasn't great, but it wasn't bad neither compared to Dark Fate.
Well, remind me when Ellison starts arguing that the people who didn't like Genesis are just sexist or something and starts leaning harder into that. That would be the problem that Drinker points out. It's not that you can never make a bad film. It's that you have to learn from successes and learn from failures. I know you guys don't like to point out that anything is a failure or ever fire anybody or ever hold anybody accountable, but it's actually really important to getting good shit.
You learn from failures, not your successes.
Again, like this. I don't want to like bring up this. I don't want to like change the topic too much to like geopolitics, but I think in Hollywood it does need to be stated how much the is pro-Israel sentiment is a factor in Hollywood, because Ellison is a Zionist, that's just a fact, and he, along with a lot of other high-profile Jews who support Israel, knows how anti-Zionist a lot of the left has been these past few years, and they don't like that. That's also why CBS is center right instead of more outwardly leftist under Barry Weiss, who is not a conservative. She's a liberal, but she offers a much more balanced and average perspective. So that's the direction I believe Ellison is going to be taking.
Fair.
But and people like Ant view that as radical or whatever, because it's not going to be catering to the fringes, when he's just going to be catering to the average person, give a more balanced perspective.
Yeah, because like I said before, it goes through their fucking warped brain and it comes out all fucked up.
It's kind of it's also like that what's happening under Disney, right? Because like movies like Elio were originally supposed to be super like a progressive, or just like push like a gay storyline, but it was like it was like picked apart because they didn't want to do that. And like same with that one Moon Girl in the Devil Dinosaur Dinosaur episode, that was like that was just dedicated to like pandering to trans inclusion into women's sports, some stupid shit like that. And there was an interview where a Disney executive said, "We are making entertainment, not therapy. We're making stories that are meant to entertain, not provide therapy." And yeah, so that is just that shows a shift. Even if they had made content that was that said otherwise previously. That's not what they're doing now.
Yeah. Anyways.
The anime one that was canceled after one season, apparently. Now, Drinker, what did you think about Dark Fate in particular? I recall you talking about it.
Terminator Dark Fate was pretty much exactly what I expected from the hilariously desperate trailers. A dull, disrespectful, lackluster, creatively bankrupt, and visually unimpressive attempt.
He can criticize things even if he likes the producer, which he probably didn't know Ellison was a fucking producer of this. And
he's seriously gonna use the critique he made of one said thing he didn't like to make it seem like he's being a hypocrite.
Also,
he liked Top Gun Maverick, so he can't not like Terminator Dark Fate. Is that really his argument?
So he thinks that if he doesn't like every single film that David Ellison has ever produced, that he's caught him, that he's a hypocrite. Aha! I got you. It's like, that's not how it works. First of all, I'm sure the movie had many producers.
That's how it works for them, John.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, first of all, I'm sure the movie had many producers, probably many of them more influential than David Ellison, but that's kind of irrelevant because he didn't direct it, he didn't write it, he didn't go harder on it. If he'd have gone into Paramount Plus and been like, fuck all these haters, we're gonna make a Dark Fate series, we're gonna make a Dark Fate spin-off, we gotta lean into this, guys, then maybe you'd have a point, Ant, if David Ellison specifically advocated for something like that. But he didn't, as far as I know. He has not done any such thing. So this is just a movie he produced that was bad, and Drinker didn't like it, understandably so, because it was shit. Like,
Gee, Ed, it's almost as if the producer and the film are two separate things.
No, it's a big contradiction. How dare you?
To simultaneously milk the classic movies for cheap nostalgia bucks, while also shitting all over them and using them as a springboard to launch a new, reinvigorated franchise with a cast of younger actors. What does this remind me of? Who in their right mind thought this was a good idea? What's a way to shit all over the events and sacrifices and triumphs of Terminator 2? Basically undoing everything that happened in it. If this doesn't tell you the degree of respect this movie has for the rest of the franchise, then I don't know what will. So old Arnold agrees to help them, and generic teenage girl decides to put on her big girl pants and says she's done running, she's gonna stand and fight.
I'm done running. I'm gonna stand and fight. Stand and fight.
The day is waiting.
That's so hilarious.
So what is he communicating here? Like, I just, oh my god, bro.
My brain is fried. I am exhausted already because of work, and this is even making it worse.
Usually I would suffer, but unfortunately we grow immunity to this stupidity.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking exhausted.
It's muted, Cedar.
Preschooler delivering the Gettysburg Address. I don't think he's exactly a big fan of the message.
Yeah, this is the guy you want to have fight the message. The guy who you said is an arbiter of the message. Interesting. I see.
Who says that he's an arbiter of the message now? Like who says that? Who says that it remains the same?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a difference of like 7 years.
All of those books behind you, and you're still a fucking idiot.
Yeah. They're just
he's never read those books.
Exactly.
I mean,
Berserk manga is still in wrapping. You piece of shit.
Yeah, they've never been touched.
Ever. And they're collecting dust. Oh, Lord, man. I'm done.
Sci-fi novels, such as Annihilation, which stars a team of women, some of them women of color, and some of them queer. There's Altered Carbon, also, which is a good series on Netflix, which features a protagonist who literally becomes...
Also, I remember Drinker praising that film, Armageddon, like, yeah, it's not good, but at least they didn't shove it down your throat that it's a team of scientists, one of them being gay. I remember that from his review of it.
Is Carbon that one series of Netflix where the guy gets sent, where they transfer consciousness into a body?
I don't fucking know.
The Black Man over the course.
Yeah.
The series, thanks to the whole brain-swapping cyberpunk aesthetic of the whole series. There's The Old Guard, the Netflix show that's basically
Oh
generated
my god, that was awful.
Yeah.
with a few gay characters thrown in as well.
That's great, Ant. That's great, Ant. That doesn't refute anything he said. It
Yeah.
doesn't refute a single thing he said.
Yeah.
All he's saying
The
is that he
exceptions do not break the rule, Ant.
Yeah, they have LGBT. Cool. Do they bring anything to the plot at all that is personality and not their sexuality?
So Ant just thinks that like Drinker hates anything with women,
black people,
alphabet people, yeah, any minority.
It's the same thing that Eric D. Birdman all think. Like, oh, he hates all these things because he doesn't like this. And I'm like, no. And I'm like, no, he just hates this particular thing.
It's always a contradiction to them whenever he praises anything or anybody associated with anything that involves those people. Meanwhile, it's all based on a false premise that they've constructed in their head that you hate all these groups. And it's like, well, maybe they don't hate all these groups. Maybe they just hate all these groups being patronized and like being like shoved in as a Teflon to criticism.
Even most of the people that they like to defend are like, dude, we want to be treated. We appreciate it, but we don't want to be treated as this fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, and the irony, of course, being that like when you butt heads, when two of those groups interact, like they'll say, "Oh, Drinker uses retard. He's evil and he's ableist." Mm-hmm. And yet when a Tourette's guy says the N-word, then all of a sudden they're like, "Well, fuck that Tourette's guy. Yeah, he needs to apologize," says Birdman and Grace. And all of a sudden they're against disabled people, and they're like, "Well, you're just specs. You said the R word." It's like, well, no, I'm not demanding that you apologize for, so I'm not as bad. But I understand you have your kind of tier of victims that you need to maintain.
Well, it's like fucking when Eric's basically like fucking going like when somebody says, "Hey, do these gay people bring anything to table here?" And Eric's like, "Oh, you just want them all rounded up and fucking shot and fucking put in camp."
Yeah, he comes these ridiculous like
all this shit.
By the way, Ant, this is Jameson. It's Irish. It's very different from a Scotch, which I also have. But just so you know, Despot of Artem, who made a great point about Elio. I know it was brought up earlier, but he's actually the first one that educated me about that movie. He is Irish, Ant. Just to culturally educate you, since you were somewhat of a bigot towards our islanded friends earlier.
The fact that I share a planet with this guy is scary.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
They sound like an Obi-Wan version of Professor.
Joel, look at it this way. Most people are not like Ant, but when there are people like Ant, Bourbon, and everything, just think how stupid the average person is, and then realize half of them are stupid with that.
Yes.
Dude, I used to work at fucking Walmart. I encountered guys like this every day.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, I hate them all.
Do we want to keep watching this, or have we like made our point? Do we want to like watch the rest of this?
No, please, no.
Keep going. I want to see how
it maybe.
Keep going. I want to see how stupid this
as
gets.
a compromise. Yeah, we could.
He also produced Geostorm, Ghosted, and the animated film Luck, all three of which are runners-up for some of the worst films.
Never even heard of Luck. I don't.
I've never heard of any of these movies.
I don't know if I would call Luck the worst.
I've heard of Geostorm.
Again, this is just cherry picking. This is just cherry picking from Ant because he doesn't want to acknowledge that he can make something good, like under this direction.
Right.
Yeah. He would never do. He would never do this for James Gunn, who also has a fair share of shitty films under his belt.
A lot of
James
Gunn's
what is the barometer here? Are we going by like box office success or the overall quality of the film? Like he kind of flip flops on what exactly what's supposed to be.
Well, to Kino's point, he's cherry picking whatever he thinks demonstrates his point. Although it's really no point because being a producer does not mean that you like dedicated any significant amount of time to anything. It's basically like you want to throw your credit on this so that you can potentially get some returns on it. Like a lot of producers, I'm actually like, that's what I'm looking up right now, is like, because I know Steven Spielberg produces a shit ton of stuff, and I'm sure half of it is shit. Like, it doesn't matter if you're This is why people saying that like Kathleen Kennedy made Jurassic Park are just as retarded as Ant making this point. It's like Kathleen Kennedy probably somewhat wanted to benefit from the success of Jurassic Park, so she threw some money towards it. And
her giving Steven Spielberg that cup of coffee was instrumental in Jurassic Park's success.
That was the highlight.
No one
of
also
her
ever
career.
mentioned
Spielberg the caffeine he needed to film that entire T-Rex scene.
That's true. By process of by transitive property, she made Jurassic Park.
no one ever mentioned
that Snickers bar. It was the equivalent of the coffee.
No one ever mentions the fact that Kathleen Kennedy was also married to Frank Marshall, who was actually a competent producer. She just kind of fucking rode his coattails.
So just to demonstrate,
she's a fucking leech.
Just to demonstrate my point about how significant a credit can be, Steven Spielberg is credited as, on the video game front, Steven Spielberg, notable big gamer, just like Nerdrotic.
Yeah.
He's credited as the writer of the E.T. game, The Dig, from
Worst-
1995.
It's commonly cited as the worst game ever made, to the point that it filled a landfill.
And to the point that Ant's making here, I don't give Steven Spielberg any shit for the E.T. game. I'm sure he barely even knew that it existed, if he did at all. And yet he has credit for it. Like, who cares?
Here's how the game was made and how it goes past Spielberg. Spielberg was sitting on his private jet, signing off a bunch of production papers. Someone slid him the E.T. Game, and he just kind of like, oh, E.T. He didn't even bother reading the whole thing, just put his John Hancock on it and then moved on with it.
Well, and beyond that, like, he's credited for 1995's The Dig. I never even heard of that game. Steven Spielberg's director chair. Maybe he had something to do with that if he like gave voice work or something to it. Medal of Honor Underground, Medal of Honor Alice Salt. Okay, those are actually good games. He should try and take credit. But I'm not going to call him a fucking game producer or game writer or anything like that, which is what he's credited as. And then like Boomblocks, Indiana Jones, and the Staff of Kings, like, Steven Spielberg probably was passed this across his desk. They were like, hey, can we make a game off Indiana Jones? He's like, yeah, sure. And then like that's probably the last that he heard of it. Like, being a producer is the most insignificant credit probably close to it in Hollywood.
To him maybe giving these studios like a couple $1 million for their budget. That was probably all he did. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe a pitch man, came into his office and was like, hey, we're gonna make this game. Do you like this general premise? He's like, yeah, sure. Like, George Lucas is probably credited as a producer or something for every fucking Star Wars game ever made. You think George Lucas knew how to design a fucking game? Like, like, who cares? These are bullshit credits that they're doing it to kind of hedge their bets a little bit. And like you could point out 100 more movies that are woke or whatever that Ellison was involved in. It does not prove your point, and I hate to tell you. It's a waste of time for everybody for you to point out every little project that you think proves your point.
Let him do it.
Decade, and none of them are testosterone-driven action films like Top Gun Maverick. But I mean, the drinker never heard of any of these movies before, obviously, right?
And for every extraction, which offers simple, action that turns out to be way better than it has any right to be, there's an old guard which starts out with such promise, only to devolve into a boring, cheesy slog.
Is he really just going to point out everything that Drinker didn't like that this guy ever had any hand in?
Drinker just said that it showed such promise and that it wasted a great idea. So doesn't that go against the whole point that Drinker hates certain groups of people and whatnot?
I actually remember this because this is a bunch of immortals that got killed all the time. This show did have promise.
I've seen this and I know it sucked ass.
Mm-hmm.
Poorly written, and basically amounting to 2 hours of pointless background noise. The movie centers on a group of mercenaries led by Andy, played by Charlize Theron. What the fuck is this weird trend of having female characters with male names? I mean, you're not breaking any glass ceilings with this one, you dicks. Annihilation never really caught on at the box office.
I didn't know if that was part of Drinker's video or not for a second.
I mean, who's to say that Anthony was merely screen recording Drinker's video?
And Anthony burped, yeah.
Damn it, Backseater, you put me in the back of the bus.
I didn't
How dare
fucking put you in there, bro. You fucking internet fucked up, bro.
I accidentally exited out the tab.
Oh my god. That's ridiculous.
Critically praised for its
man
performances
in
and
the back of the
casting and its thought-provoking story. Well, I can only assume these guys were thinking about a different movie because the only thoughts I had when the credits rolled were, I really need to find a better place to bury those bodies.
The Wisconsin.
You gotta love Drinker's edgy humor, though. It's hilarious.
I don't know,
No,
guys. We're running out of stuff to talk here. Do we want to keep going?
Some fish fry.
Please, no.
I mean, I feel like I want something to respond to because he's just showing long clips.
Yeah.
Of the point we've already responded to.
Backseater, maybe play it on fast motion until he's done going through things that David Ellison produced. Because that's kind of a moot point at this point. It's like boring.
Sorry, I mean, why did I just waste 2 hours on this shite?
It's odd how we only look at a few films of filmography and get a very different message. He's also responsible for bringing the J.J. Abrams era of Star Trek to life, which means he is canonically making Sulu again.
Oh yeah, you mean the shitty Star Trek film that should have never been made?
Not necessary to make The Force
I'm
Awakens.
not sure if Ant's gonna get to this point. I mean, he probably might, but I just want to point it out now. Well, two things. One, I don't think David Ellison has all that much to do with current Star Trek. He doesn't have like
He doesn't.
too deep in it, but two, Drinker
This is
does
the guy
actually
named
Star
Alex
Trek at one
Kurtz.
point during this video that Ant's covering.
Skywalker, which means, in effect, Ellison is responsible indirectly for the creation of The Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi, which means without Ellison, Drinker would not have a career on YouTube. I guess that's why he loves Ellison so much. But I noticed you completely ignore
What? Alright.
And
no one, and you know what? I'm glad I
Let's assume you're right.
You're funny.
He has lost
Like-
it. He has gone crazy. He's committed to the asylum.
Hey, you do realize that by saying that in retrospect, if Drinker didn't exist, you would not have a career neither.
Exactly.
And this is schizo posting. You are schizo posting right now.
Boy, you know what?
Fucking dumb.
I'm glad we're still watching because I'm actually laughing for once.
Yeah.
So according to Ann, if he prefers Paramount acquiring Warner Brothers over Netflix, then he likes The Rise of Skywalker or something because J.J. Abrams directed it, and the guy who runs Paramount right now worked with J.J. Abrams. Am I getting that correctly?
Yep, pretty much.
Fuck it.
Remember, this is the guy who says that he's more media illiterate, than you.
Oh, hey, he's adapting Neuromancer, Ant's favorite book ever.
Oh, that sounds like of interest.
Grace and Frankie, a TV show where two older women become friends after their husbands come out as gay and date each other. Or Dietland, a series where a plus-size writer is recruited by a radical feminist organization. And you certainly are unaware that Ellison is adapting...
from This Is Us. I thought that was that chick.
And does he... Okay, and again, does he have any projects like this on the horizon, or did he say, these are shit, let's not waste our resources on making this shit, and actually give people what they want?
Right.
Both Foundation and Neuromancer, two of the greatest sci-fi novels of all time, and choosing with his money to finance the expansion and fleshing out of roles for women in both. Interesting how that works out. The exact thing you're against, that sounds like. Hell, the women in Annihilation in the original novel aren't even given races or orientations. Hell, they don't even have names in the book. But all that was added in the film. In a very literal sense, they're given a race swap and orientation swap in the film. And you don't seem to realize
Well, it's not a swap if they're not given one, actually. It's only a swap if you have like a Snape scenario where he's specifically,
And we don't give a shit about your favorite books because if you like them, then by extension, we should hate it.
Right. We're
Just
just watching Ant on 2x speed. I'm thinking of the meme of the guy by the whiteboard. I'm just thinking of that meme.
What, Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's like...
No. It was a meme where it's like...
Oh, the
it's
guy
like a
who's
fast
on the
video.
whiteboard and he's writing everything down and explaining it to you.
Yeah, that one. I'm just reminded of that. I don't know why. It's hilarious. Anyways,
And you just said, oh, that's all Ellison makes. I'm going to stop there. Now, none of this really matters, because it doesn't mean Ellison is woke or not. Far from it. But one of the new projects that was released under his tenure as
Who are you acting like he is then?
Paramount is Star Trek Starfleet Academy, a show you have rallied against its announcement, trying to turn it into the next Star Wars Acolyte.
I mean, considering Ellison owns Paramount already,
bro, he doesn't have to try. First of all, it's not going to be Star Wars Acolyte because nobody gives a shit about it.
Right. No one gives a shit about Star Trek anymore.
For the first time in years, there is not a single Star Trek show in production because they finally put a halt on it. It's the first time in like 10 plus years since like Discovery was made that there has not been one in production, because they've already made season 2 of Star Trek Academy, unfortunately. But also because Ellison probably has some second guesses about inheriting Kurtzman, because he did inherit him. He came into this 10 years in and he was like, what the fuck have you done? It's like it's like the Key and Peele gif where he walks into the burning room and he's just like
Actually, that's not a Key and Peele gif. That's a Community gif.
Oh, damn it. Whatever. It was a black guy. They all look alike. No. See, whenever somebody accuses me of being racist, I just lean into it.
Hell yeah, man. John, I give you full
It's
permission
over for
to
you,
say the
John.
hard
Hereby done.
R. John, I give you full permission to say the hard R and crack the whip.
Because then hopefully anybody who pulls that dumb shit will just stop watching, and then I don't have to deal with their ass anymore. That's my whole strategy.
To nuke Kurtzman Trek from orbit, decanonize every show they've ever shot it out into the world, and have the entire secret hideout team forcibly escort you out of the building. Fuck it, you can just buy out their contracts if you have to. It's not like you're short on.
Black.
Oh, Kurtzman. Oh, God.
Why do you look gay?
You're pulling this.
Why do his glasses look like that?
Jesus Christ.
Mine are more round than John's. He's inaccurate.
You give us glasses wearers an embarrassing name. Piece of shit.
Turns out they are.
What Trigger doesn't seem to get is that if Ellison really wanted to get this thing that badly, he could have by now. Hell, if that didn't stop freaking Zaslav from nuking Batgirl from
Well,
orbit.
hasn't Star Trek been given less funding? Let me see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, he's been given a weirdly like long leash as far as Star Trek goes for a number of years. I'm not sure of anything he's made that's been like outright. I know Star Trek Beyond didn't make money like the 2009 film did, but ever since then, it's been pretty like you could hide behind streaming numbers, I suppose, because you can always do that. But as far as like the theatrical releases stopped after Beyond, there was that Quentin Tarantino and fourth movie tease for years and years. Like Picard season 3 got some praise. That was about it. Yeah, he's basically just been allowed to fail. So there wasn't much aside from that.
So this is what I'm saying. Paramount is restructuring its Star Trek franchise under new Skydance ownership, likely reducing funding for some projects while focusing on a holistic in-house approach to improve profitability. High production costs, over $8 million per episode for recent shows, and declining streaming performance have led to cuts like Lower Decks and high-profile licensing fee increases. So yeah, like again, we just have to wait and see to see what sort of changes will result from like this new management or this merger.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I have just been informed of something rather interesting.
Uh-oh.
So, you know what producer just vocally said she would absolutely 110% love to go back to Paramount?
Who? Charlie Curry.
Victoria Alonso.
They're cooked.
AKA the same lady who may or may not have destroyed Phase 4 of Marvel.
Oh my god.
Wait, what was her exact role in that? Was she a writer for something?
No, she was an executive producer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck.
Instead of leaving
Hold on, she's not getting a job there yet. She just said she would love to, considering she worked as a page for Paramount back in 2006.
I'm sure she would love any job, to be honest with you. After wrecking the MCU, she's probably having a tough time finding any.
They'll do such a good job.
Yeah, you did such a good job.
Not only is letting Starfleet Academy air, he's letting both seasons of Film Boy's rival air. Odd, isn't it? He could have prevented it. He could have stopped it mid-production.
Yeah,
and
I
this,
mean,
think, is the biggest
you can have some content to put out, and the fucking freaks will stay subscribed for another couple of years. At least you can milk some more money off of their teeth.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Exactly.
Heats, yeah.
Hold on, let's see what else he produced. Hang on.
That the version
Another Snake Eyes. That was a bit of a.
That was a film.
Drinker probably clicked on The Gorge, Spellbound, and They Will Kill You because he had no idea what the fuck they are. It's just like,
I actually do know They Will Kill You. It's got Zazie Beetz and Draco Malfoy.
Isn't that a fucking YouTube channel?
What? They Will Kill You?
Yeah, that's a YouTube channel, isn't it?
Oh,
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure it is because there's a million YouTube channels. Or that's
there's
an
a
underestimation.
YouTube
There's a
channel
million YouTube channels.
isn't entirely accurate to the reality. Now, is Ellison responsible creatively for that show? No, but he's not creatively involved with any of the things he makes.
He's not responsible for the show.
Okay.
You can just stop there. You can just stop there, and
All right, bro. We can stop
null
here.
and void. Does he not realize he just made his entire point like moot?
Yeah, he just shot him on the foot.
You're just spilling shit out of your ass, Ant.
Here's another way he could have phrased that would have worked just as well for this video is, now is he heavily involved in any of those things? No, because everything I just said doesn't matter.
That's a nice argument, man. How about you make it up with a source?
Yeah.
Oh, I love how he makes his argument and then just immediately debunks the entire thing. It's like, no wonder Eric Debunks doesn't go after your videos. It's because you do it to yourself.
Yeah, also...
Backseater is a peak fire YouTuber, and Anthony Gramuglia is a piece of human garbage.
Wow.
At this point, you just gotta wonder, it's like, does Ant's brain just slow down like 90 to 90% every time he opens his mouth?
Well, and this is why I don't get as angry at him as like Birdman or Debunks or whatever, because I feel like he's like self-aware almost to a fault, where he'll like immediately just like debunk and destroy his entire like video that he just made in the last couple minutes of the video, or he'll just be like wildly off topic to the point where it's like, okay, why are you even bringing this up? And so it's like, at least he's not as like arrogant and like just as angry as those guys.
Right.
I'm just like, I'm sort of indifferent towards you because you're just kind of clowning on yourself at a certain point.
Yeah.
And I know the perfect thing to call you. The male Grace Randolph. Because you both don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and you both piss me off.
Look, all I know is that guy with Tourette's, he should only apologize to Darth Angel because he's clearly offended, even if he won't say so. By what he said that.
For me.
Darth Angel, to be fair to Grace, at least she had a brain to say the bride was shit.
There you go. She had a brain cell. I'm not going to give her credit for a whole brain there.
Let's move on. But what about Warner Brothers' other IPs like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and the entire DCU? Well, I'd be lying if I said I was disappointed they weren't going to fall under Netflix's control. I mean, Jesus, could you even begin to imagine what a Netflix adaptation of Lord of the Rings would look like?
Hey, it's my family doing a Lord of the Rings cosplay.
This would actually explain why Frodo wants Sam to do everything for him.
He's a lazy black guy.
He's like, Sam, I'm just tired. Yeah, you take all that. You carry me, bro.
I'm tired.
The sad thing is that this is redundant now that Rings of Power exists.
Oh
yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Also, then those Magic the Gathering cards exist. Yeah.
Dude, I give Drinker credit for the editing here, though. That's pretty fucking good.
That's hilarious. Holy shit.
He just needed to give them all froze as well.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, that
Hold on, Ant's talking about this shit. Hang on, Ant's talking about this. Let's even get ass
I'd
smashed.
like to pause a second and stare at this disgusting AI image of blackface Lord of the Rings. If
Disgusting! It's disgusting!
It's AI generated! It's blackface! Ah!
Funny, Ant, I thought your face was artificial intelligence.
Doesn't that just make the AI racist if they're going to do this?
you all have to look at it too. This is the level of humor we're dealing with.
Disgusting! It's all black ass! I can't stand this!
And guess what, Ant? It's fucking hilarious.
I love that he said that after we all fucking cracked up before we even heard him say it. He's like, this is the level of humor we're dealing with. It made everybody laugh. Oh, take that, Drinker.
Anyway. AI blackface Lord of the Rings, something no one has ever proposed, and yet he thinks
Digital
oh
my god. That's a concept, you fucking idiot. And also, yes, Rings of Power has already made this a reality, so it's kind of funny. You're like, nobody's ever proposed this. And it's like, well, we have fucking black dwarves, which make absolutely no sense considering they're out of the sunlight.
And aren't you guys the one that claims that orcs should have rights despite being fucking evil?
Yeah.
How dare you call them evil? They're black
Orcs
people.
are black people, yeah.
Oh, fuck
You're
that.
on a list now.
Oh, fuck
How
that.
dare you call us evil?
Oh, fuck that. I would
And
kill them all. I don't
also,
give a
I'm pretty sure the black or Aragorn, if the AI made it, was pretty much inspired by Magic the Gathering actually making a black Aragorn.
Yeah, that's what I say, yeah.
And it's already been done partially.
Do it. Let me just let that sink in. Drinker genuinely thinks his audience will believe this will actually exist. Yes, no, it's a joke.
What?
It doesn't.
You
it's
just
not
said
real
it's
power.
obviously a joke, my guy.
You really think that? Oh my god, you have constructed a comical villain in your head so that you have made yourself the good guy. It's like, oh my god, no, nobody thinks this is going to happen. It's you're like
This would be a
self-owning.
little more forgivable if you didn't play the clip from Drinker's video. If he didn't just know what Drinker said.
My fucking joke leading into the racism would not even match this, and he's like, this is what they genuinely believe. It's just like, okay, buddy, sure.
Okay, now it's the need to ask. Did your brain go to your dick? Did your brain go to your dick, or did it went to your, or when it went out the fucking ear the moment you started this?
What dick? He doesn't have one.
I'm sure. Hey, you know, we shouldn't speak for black people though. I'm sure Darth Angel thinks that Lord of the Rings is a terrible movie trilogy because all these characters are white in the actual trilogy.
Right.
Realistically, I've only seen the first one. I haven't seen the last.
Oh shit, Darth Angel, you gotta watch that shit.
The image.
I know it's really good. I just haven't got the time.
The image of Dark and Gandalf, just like in that scene when he gets dragged by the monster, and then it's just a rap song.
The funnier thing about this is that his title is after the first movie, in the second and third, he's like the White, and so it would just be hilarious for a black guy to be like, I am Gandalf the White. He's just like, and then Aragorn just looks at him, he's like, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
I mean, they pulled out the live action Snow White. They pulled out the live action Snow White.
No, John. That was Gandalf the Light was his brother. He is the other one, Gandalf the Black.
Black.
We can call this
Gandalf the brother.
We call this Lord of the Rings.
Them chicken. It's Lord of the Rings. We was Lord of the Rings and shit.
It gives a whole new context of Boromir now. He's just like, hey Frodo, give me that shit.
It's not Sauron is not black, it's more like Wyron.
Oh yes, Sauron would be the one person. They change his armor all to white and shit, and they give him like a Nazi symbol.
So like, seek higher, these orcs.
Well, I'll tell you this. Black Ladriel is better than Guy Ladriel.
That's true. They would probably take Guy Ladriel as like a trans allegory or something nowadays.
Yeah. Hang on, y'all. I'm going to be working on something really special now. Let's keep going.
ChatGPT or Grok, whatever he uses,
cooking,
make Lord of the Rings black. He has put more effort into this than Warner Brothers has ever put into making anything.
And Legolas would also be holding his bow sideways if he were.
Yeah, that would actually look badass, though.
That would be cool.
Oh my god, Ant said he put much work into this image than the actual fucking video.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so
Drinker. The funniest thing is, Drinker would probably respond to that to be like, yeah, I don't really put a lot of work into my videos, and I still get more views than you stupid fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great Shrek impression. Call Ant a donkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do Mike Myers or what's the other American guy trying to be Scottish? I was trying to think of it. Yeah, but anyways, it'll come to me. But anyways,
Does that mean Anne hates Robert Downey Jr. doing blackface?
Probably. Or Battery probably go like, oh, a lot of the chuds don't get it, but that fucking movie's supposed to be parodying blackface and shit. They lack media literacy.
I think he actually did say something along those lines in another video of his.
Ah, jeez. Anyways, keep going.
Wouldn't get too comfortable in that Warner Brothers office if I were you, James.
Drinker clearly thinks this deal will result in everyone he doesn't like going away, like James Gunn. And while it's possible Gunn might just leave like Sheridan did when the merger completes, the reality is
he'll just leave, and you'll believe the PR statement of we have amicably parted on mutual terms. AKA, I got
considering the
fired.
fact that James Gunn literally skipped his first scheduled meeting with David Ellison, it's not hard to imagine that it's not out of the realm of possibility he might actually leave DC Studios.
The thing is, though, like, Ant will not acknowledge that is him essentially being given the ultimatum of, like, you either leave or we're going to fire you.
And we'll probably say, well, he did leave, but what if his wife needed? What if his wife was sick? What if his dog was sick?
I mean, given the fact that James Gunn is a big dog lover, I could see him walking off a project because his dog got sick.
God damn it. Anyways. Anyway, alright, let's keep going, folks.
It's fun to say. Because like Sheridan, Ellison realizes Gunn is a massive talent who gets results financially, and most importantly, always makes his film.
Gunn is a massive talent who gets results financially.
What are you using to get those numbers, Ant?
Source, brother!
Wow. He just says that like it's just an accepted fact.
Yeah.
Like you were just handed the keys to the kingdom. You were just handed the DC cinematic universe with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, all these things. And you maybe barely made a profit with your big debut?
Yeah, just relying on the IP alone?
Oof.
No,
Yeah,
shut
and
up,
like...
No, shut up. This is totally different.
Please, let's be done with this shit already.
Hang on, y'all.
We're going.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Oh no, it's Mr.
Oh
Popo.
yes.
No, I disavow.
Oh come on, Kino. This is funny as fuck. You gotta admit right here. Oh come on, man.
I also disavow.
Don't make it look like Mr. Popo. That's not
right.
Oh come on, man. Mr. Popo don't care.
Exterior, you gotta put a disclaimer on this shit. Be like,
lawyer
this is
advised me that I must disavow this.
Bro,
you gotta put a disclaimer. Whoa, that was crazy. It went.
Back the exception there.
I know.
Someone has to send that to Ant and just let him
We crossed the line. I don't think we should cross it more.
It helps to crawl
anyways.
out under the mountain of debt accumulating.
Just maybe give Eric DeBunks a link to this stream just to trigger him. But I'm not gonna say to send anything to him. It's his choice if he wants to click on the stream.
Yeah, just to be clear, that was what Backseat did. I didn't show that.
It was all me, y'all.
It was Backseater. You know, it's the
Yeah,
typical.
it's all Backseater.
It's the typical disclaimer we have to give. Is that
all right.
The
You
opinion
know what?
of Backseater is
You
not
know what?
necessarily those of any of the boys.
All right. Okay. All right. Listen, guys.
Oh boy.
Y'all convinced me. I crossed the line. Mr.
no.
Popo, if you're watching, I'm sorry I infringed on your likeness. I did not intend it at all. I know you're a really great guy. I like you a lot. You're actually my favorite DB character, and I did you absolutely dirty there.
All right, now I seriously disavow that. I mean, come on.
Well, he is. He's my favorite. But anyways.
But why?
Yeah, you deserve better, Popo. So you know what? If it makes you feel better, I'll send you $1 million your way to help you feel better and sort of like recover any copyright damages I accidentally did. Yeah, so there you go.
This guy offended people and he's offering me money, Kami.
Anyways, keep going.
Actions, he is letting South Park and The Daily Show do what they want because it makes money. Ellison realizes Trump isn't going to be president for very long. He wants to make sure his media empire lasts.
I mean,
longer.
he'll be
And
president
businessmen
as long as anybody else is. It's always a 4-year term, you idiot.
I don't even think he supported Trump. So what's his point? Like,
I don't know.
Like that.
This
Regardless
has
of
nothing to do-
the reality of entertainment doesn't change regardless of who is in office.
Yeah.
And
What's
he
his
hasn't Ellison has never brought up Trump during these negotiations. Which, by the way, the Netflix merger was going on under the Trump administration. So what difference does it make? Like, you're the first one to mention this.
Yeah. Yeah, Joshy Boy will get upset at $1 million. Keto, do you know the backstory behind that?
Joshy Boy, eh?
Yeah, do you remember the reason why Joshy Boy left Nerd Theory?
Oh, because he needed $500 to his before he would appear on Star Wars Theory's stream.
Fucking really?
500.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Backseater, you owe me, according to that rate, about I'm just gonna say like 100K. We'll call it even.
All right. I'll pay you in Monopoly money. How does that sound?
Fuck off. Fuck
You
off.
know what, Backseater?
Super chats.
You know what, Backseater? Just for making me suffer through this piece of shit, and you owe me 500K. I want my reparations right now, my
All right, I'll pay you in crypto, Dark Angel.
Hey, Backseater, you're racist if you don't pay Dark Angel that much.
I'll pay him in crypto.
Oh God, I just had a Freudian slip. I called him Dark Angel just because he's black.
Dark Angel, can you accept Applebee's gift cards?
Applebee's, you know.
Applebee's.
Anyway,
I'm thinking of TGI Fridays.
Just
I was
for
thinking of their
making
Jack
me in
Daniel's
particular sit through this, I say you owe me $777,000 from Mom's Eater's bank account.
I'll pay you that. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'll actually give you. I'll while she's in bed tonight, I'll reach in her wallet, steal her fucking debit card, and I'll mail it to you in the mail. How about that, Evan?
Oh! You'll give him the card, but you'll give me crypto.
Yeah, crypto's
I
useful.
gave him the debit card. That one doesn't even have a credit limit.
Alex,
You could
Alex,
get
do you
more
want
out of the
Keto?
credit
Alex, do you want Keto to give you something?
Oh man.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna be
Look,
honest.
I ain't taking the debit card. I don't trust you actually having the money, so I'm going to take the credit card, which has a line of credit, and so that I can at least use some of it. Jesus.
Yeah.
You guys are all stupid. I'm going to take the credit card.
See, we like to have fun on this channel.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Recent Star Trek productions are designed not necessarily to approach the woke, but to draw in new audiences because Star Trek's fandom
It is 100% to draw on the woke. They had one episode where a dude beat a chick and he had to go, "Oh gosh, I cheated. I was so bad for doing that. Oh, I'm so sorry."
And even if we want to take and at face value, they're not doing that because they're not sustaining those new people they get.
Mm-hmm.
The reason Star Trek Academy looks the way it does is to attract a younger audience who can then become fans for longer. That is the methodology they're employing. Nothing about Starfleet Academy should feel like an uncalculated risk by the people behind it, which does include Ellison now. They have to diversify their portfolio to draw in the biggest audience. You don't do that with the same shit every time. Yeah, Yellowstone did address a need that was apparent, but the reason Paramount Plus is struggling because it doesn't diversify. There's not 5 or 10 different shows with different demographics it needs, and it needs that worldwide entertainment.
What?
And Disney is highly reliant on a few IP and a very specific demographic of Disney adults, and yet you're not criticizing them.
And do you
get peed on.
And do you fucking hear yourself?
Yeah.
And you need to get peed on. Bad.
Yeah, you need to get. Well, we're peeing on him in this stream, so it's all good.
Whoa, I'm not part of this golden shower. What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, you're joining us.
I'm out. Wait a minute.
Nah, you're joining us.
Excelled at. That's why they're buying Warner Brothers. But there is one aspect of Warner Brothers Discovery that will be immediately devalued, and that is CNN, which honestly already has been devalued thanks to Zaslav. But the real cost of Ellison's takeover is financial and industrial. Ellison plans on cutting $6 billion from cost from the company that he creates, which means shutting stuff down. That means you're going to lose media and not get anything to replace it. That means cutting down on experimental projects, lowering budgets, making special effects look worse. That means fewer risks. If you look at Ellison's body of work, all of them are fairly generic and fairly safe. Some of the more interesting projects like World War Z are essentially underwhelming adaptations of very interesting works of fiction. And I think even Drinker knows this, but he completely buries that element at the end of his video.
That being said, I'm not going to pretend that this is an ideal outcome by any stretch, and I don't particularly love the idea of independent studios merging together into homogenous mega corporations, because let's be honest, it's bad for competition and bad for creativity.
Oh, look,
but on the other
he doesn't like any conglomeration.
That entire thing proves that he didn't say what you thought he said, dumbass.
Even if they agree with him politically, yeah.
I think a lot of Ant's content relies on his viewers not looking at certain point or not paying attention to certain points of his videos that completely invalidate the majority of it.
You know, it's funny, Kino, because I hear a lot of people who they make the same sort of arguments that Ant makes, but they leave out the. At least I'll give Ant this: he leaves in the shit that discredits his very claims. A lot of people will just clip and they'll cut out anything that disproves them from the video, and they'll just say, "Oh, this guy, you know, he totally hates this. And he's a total hypocrite." And I'll just cut out anything that disagrees with that point. Ant leaves it in. He actively disproves himself in the same video. And it's kind of funny whenever you watch it, but it's also at least a degree of honesty. It's like, oh, okay, well, maybe you just like don't realize how much this invalidates your point.
Maybe he's just stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I think it like makes it at least more genuine, even if it's just as stupid. It's like, okay, well, I can literally point to your video. I don't even have to go back to the source. Like, I remember whenever you were doing Birdman, Kino, and you had to go to the larger clips in Charlie Kirk's like speeches and everything to, you know, disprove how he took things out of context. It's like, at least he provides the context. It may actively disprove his entire point, but he does provide it.
You know, gentlemen, I just realized something. We are all Charlie Kirk.
Oh shit! We're all the sons of the Patriots now.
And if ever there was a definitive signal that the age of identity politics
Charlie Kirk
and the message has come to an end in Hollywood, I think this just might be it. The great experiment that's decimated pop culture for the past decade is well and truly over. Good fucking riddance. The only question now is when can the age of building begin?
Drinker sees it as a necessary evil to stop the woke if it means studios are merged and bought out and productions are halted and all that good stuff.
This was a whole nothing burger video, Ant.
Do you think Ant realizes he looks like that screaming liberal?
I don't know.
Oh, the one that did the
Yeah.
Probably.
Anyways.
Here becomes that I think Drinker is ignoring box office. After all, one of the most financially successful films this year was Sinners, a film that is unapologetically about racial discrimination. Another film, Superman. And
it
Superman
was also
much less
based
money
in the
than possible.
1930s.
You can make a film about racial discrimination and have it not be woke by their standards.
And the main and it was about that, but the most important part was the fact that fucking vampires existed.
I just love this is an image of Superman reacting to his own box office numbers. He's like, oh.
Again, this film couldn't even surpass Demon Slayer. Never forget that.
Not even close. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
none of these surpass Top Gun Maverick.
Oh gosh, that's not even. That's like a hydrogen bomb versus an infant scenario.
Exactly.
That was like 3 times Superman.
It's like Bakugo versus Rise.
I highly doubt this film surpassed the first few X-Men movies, even Last Stand.
To be clear, I realize it's not like a superhero genre or whatever, because that's then what they changed the conversation to and tried to make it about. The reason I bring up Demon Slayer is because it came out like a month after Superman, and absolutely nobody at the beginning of summer would have said they were all predicting 800 million, a billion, whatever for Superman. They were all putting in their box office predictions, and it turned out to be way underperforming. And then after the fact, they were like, "Oh well, because of post-COVID, because of a superhero genre."
They keep using that excuse, and it's like, no, we were over that. Maybe the movie just sucked.
We've been over that. I mean, Barbenheimer fucking came out the year before, and yet you're trying to use this a year after that.
Fucking Deadpool and Wolverine is another post-COVID movie, and it did really well. It may have been like a mid-ass movie, but it got money back.
Box office.
Yep, every 800 million plus post-COVID movie disproves the COVID theory, and yet they still pull it out every time a movie does poorly.
Alright, let's keep going.
For that matter, everything Skydance did got overshadowed by Demon Slayer, an anime filled with badass ladies. I don't think that Ellison's anti-woke policies will compare when you have a diverse
Actively
heritage.
disproves your fucking cultural
What?
shit.
You know, wait.
The
Go
lady
back,
actually
go back.
died in Demon Slayer, and another
What?
one highly admired her male protector.
What?
Again, like
Sorry.
this is how Ant like it frames the conversation. A movie can't have women, black people, or any other like a non-white straight character and be called a normal.
No.
It has to be. It's part of his weird ideology, which it isn't. No.
What did he say? I didn't hear that.
Me neither. Go back.
Possible, but grossed more than Mission Impossible. For that matter, everything Skydance did got overshadowed by Demon Slayer, an anime filled with badass ladies. I don't think that Ellison's anti-woke
And
policies...
men. There are men in Demon Slayer.
Wow.
Okay, so the
because men bad. I forgot.
the
Men bad.
badass ladies that he's referring to, there are two prominent Hashira who are female.
Mhm.
It is the poison one, or butterfly, or whatever her
Shinobu.
name is here, and then there's Mitsuri Kanroji, which Baxter, if you want to pull up an image of her, I'm pretty sure she would not substantiate any sort of woke ideology.
No,
because Mitsuri Kanroji has an
Yeah,
outfit
that's
like
what
this,
they
except she has tits, so
Oh, yeah.
ignore the ginger.
Is
Yeah.
she the one that said that her dream was to live like a family and a good man?
Her
Yeah.
dream is to find a man stronger than her who she can marry. And I'm pretty sure every single fucking thing about her appearance,
Oh God!
her
Is
appearance,
this thing woke to you?
her appearance and her motive, and she fights. She is the love Hashira.
I don't know.
She says,
I see two big reasons right there for why this might not be considered woke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, your
It's like the-
comical mischaracterization of Drinker or anybody else who says that, like, oh, I don't like woke shit ideology. And I'm like, you know what? Mitsuri, even her personality alone would be enough to be like anti your ideology, because she, at the very beginning of the movie, she is saved by the fucking snake Hashira who's like kills a bunch of demons, and she's all like, you know, oh my gosh, you're my hero, I love you so much, because she's like fucking totally smitten with the guy. You know what a woke person would do, Aunt, just to give you an idea? She would be like, she would slaughter all the dudes before the man. She'd just be like, you know, get behind me and fuck you. It's just like,
Yes, like
it would be the Ray, stop
Ray.
holding my hand.
Yes, like
Ray!
Yeah, she's like Giovanna from Guilty Gear Strive, where she's a badass woman, but she's like she has two big reasons. And the guard tells her, "Can you button your shirt up?" And she says, "Well, how else am I supposed to find a good man?" And I'm like, she's not wrong.
And by the way, the other one, Shinobu, she fucking gets killed in the movie. And
Yeah.
she loses, and that would never be allowed.
Exactly.
And there are these the two most prominent women who I'm assuming you're referring to, Ant, because I can't think of any other prominent women in the film other than like map makers back in
So,
the Demon
John-
Slayer HQ.
So, John, what you're saying is the Demon Slayer treated their protagonists and women like actual people who can die.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're normal. They're not weak, but they are normal, and they have weaknesses, strengths. They aren't afraid to show affection. They aren't like total bitch Mary Sue's, which I understand. Like that's what you would frame as like, oh gosh, Drake, you're such a sexist for wanting that. Guess what? They're fucking normal, and that's why it was so refreshing. And all these people who are like, oh, if this came out today, you would hate it. If this came out, guess what? I saw Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair after seeing like shit like Predator Badlands, and I was like, holy shit, this is how you used to write strong women. It's so easy, and it's so good, and she doesn't spend a single second of that film going, oh gosh, you men are all underestimating. Instead, it has Pai Mei twisting her arm behind her back and saying, you're a useless American cow and you can only talk about shopping and everything. It's like they're not willing to put them in a position of weakness at any time in the film because they view it as sexist.
Another point for Demon Slayer is that Shinobu is canonically the weakest member of the Hashira in terms of power scaling. Yeah, according to the author herself.
Yeah, another point is that it has a female author. Yes, so anything. Same thing with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, by the way,
which is a good anime.
You could say that he lacks media literacy.
In a recent anime, Gachiakuta also has a female Arthur.
She has been beefing with online activists like Anthony, or just people who are lecturing her on how to write her story, and she's just telling them all to fuck off. It's
Wait,
great.
who, the Gachiakuta Arthur?
Yes.
Oh fucking Christ!
They're saying that her characters are gay, non-binary, and she's saying, no, that's not fucking true. Don't tell me what my series is.
The only character I thought that was non-binary was Remlin, because they never gave the character like a specific gender in the anime, if I remember correctly. So I thought that was the only non-binary character. Other than that, I got none of that from any other character.
Just like
as
that.
one of the biggest hits of the year. So let me ask you again here, Drinker. Is anything actually shifting, or is Ellison just
How
going
is
to stand
Demon
back
Slayer
and-
woke? We have
No,
not.
I think we just
that.
went pretty extensively over that about how it goes specifically against Ant's ideology in a number of ways.
He doesn't care.
The fact that he's trying to spin that in his favor, and I am sure that pre-release he would have never brought up that fucking movie, is the most hilarious thing in the world.
He doesn't care. He just needs an excuse to don't drink her.
They're doing make films people want to see. And Paramount has a black list of actors who are not politically aligned with them, like say Melissa Barrera, but it almost doesn't matter because they'll be making less shows and movies, and so their blacklist will have less pull because they're making
and
less.
by the way, I just thought of Demon Slayer does an absolute fridging, and then Akaza's backstory.
Oh yeah,
is a huge part of the film, in which the woman in his life and his master dies, and he becomes a demon, kind of partially as a result, a large part as a result of that tragedy. And so, fuck off with this whole thing. You would say, if that were a Western film, you'd be like, or if it were a less successful film, you'd be like, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't fridge your females.
Tanjiro's mom is also Tanjiro and Nezuko's mom is also fridged at the beginning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the horrible fridging, Ant. They do it multiple times in the series.
Yeah. You know, something tells me Ant is just jealous that Japan knows how to write female characters than the West. Like, look at Fairy Tail, for example. Fairy Tail has a bunch of strong women, even especially Urza. So what is woke about Demon Slayer?
Oh, I mean, they even try to make One Piece woke, and it's like, guys, I mean, it's only because you've gone so extreme that basically normal things are so foreign to you, but like,
right,
a lot of the women are sexualized, a lot of the women like men, a lot of the women like
They did this.
Yeah, go ahead.
They did the same thing with My Hero Academia when Mineta, in some point in the series, was trying to stop Deku, and he said, "I fell for you," and everybody thought, "Oh, he's gay," and I'm like, "No, he fell for him as in that he was doing good, at his studies."
Well, they all got pissed whenever in the post story like chapters he was revealed to be with Uraraka, where they were all like, "Oh, Bakugo and Deku are gonna fuck each other in the butt." Oh my god! Oh,
that reminds me that I got into an argument, well, not an argument, but like a mild conversation with a My Hero fan, saying, "Oh, Bakugo should end up with Deku" or some shit like that. I was like, what implication gave you that they were gay or Bakugo was gay?
They also wanted Urarara to or Ochako to end up with Toga too,
which makes no fucking sense. Why would you want to end up with the person that tried to kill you?
They wanted Momo to end up with the earjack chick, even though she's clearly very much into Mr. Icy Hot there.
I think that was also a fan thing. I'm pretty sure Shoto and Momo were just friends.
Yeah, no, I mean it's never by the author. That's the funny thing. It's like, even now with the One Piece thing, they're like, "Oh, Vivi and Nami, they need to get together because Vivi didn't immediately kill her." And it's just like, guys, holy shit! Like, just because Vivi's not evil doesn't mean that she's a fucking lesbian. Jesus.
I mean, I wanted Bakugo to fucking die, but you don't see me fucking crying about it.
Yeah, I've warmed up to Bakugo towards the end. Other than that, I don't care. Anyways, continue, please.
And you know where those actors go? The competition, Universal, Disney, who will be making that stuff. Basically, Drinker is celebrating the death of media because it will own the libs. Now, as you can probably surmise,
that's not what he's doing. That's not what he's doing. That's not what he's doing. That's literally not what he's doing. He is communicating that this is keeping it alive because it's not going to be taken over by a streaming service like Netflix.
Bro, literally a couple minutes back was like, this is still a bad thing, but it's a lot better than the alternative.
Oh, I'm so glad we sped this up because this is the most fucking stupidest shit that he ever did.
I love how like Birdman and them will get pissed because they're like, "Oh, you paused my thing before I made my whole point." And it's like, but if we perfectly predict your point beforehand, isn't that actually like more hilarious?
Yeah,
because we always play the whole thing eventually, and yet we always end up being right about what you're gonna say next.
Yes.
Like again, like it is a major failing from Ant that he doesn't also weigh the pros and cons of Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers. It makes him look incredibly dishonest and that he's just being a reply guy to Critical Drinker.
That's what all of them are in the end of the day.
Oh, as Critical Drinker once said, you're suckling at our milk-swollen teat.
The billionaire with conservative leanings, merging two of the biggest studios in Hollywood together under his personal control, went down about as well as expected with the usual crowds.
Can we stop with the video, please? I'm done.
It's almost over. It's almost over.
It feels like torture. It feels like it's been going on for 3 hours.
All right, they enjoy you software for your work.
Oh boy, Eric Monks is like, this is the third time you play this laughing man. Kino, I forget if you were there whenever we did the Eric debunks.
No, he wasn't there. No.
Yeah, so like Eric started freaking out whenever Drinker repeated clips in his videos, and it was like to a comical degree. Like whenever he reached like the third time that he saw a clip, he was just like, oh. He's repeating it again, and they're like very short clips, but I don't know why. It just like really triggered him.
If I remember correctly, at one point he literally turned around on a swivel chair, put his whole face into his hands, and just straight up lowered his head as if he was about to cry or something. Yeah, like what John was doing.
To be fair, that was the most relief his Spider-Man chair ever had.
Yeah, poor guy.
Modern culture and have to compete with other creatives that don't share your particular worldview, isn't it? Pass me the world's smallest violin, will you?
He gets to say, oh, the woke people are mad, but what do you get out of it? You get less media. The Drinker has always presented himself as an anti-establishment.
How are we getting less media? Where at all in this deal are we getting less media? If anything, it's more accessibility so far.
Isn't that just another prescriptive thing that he doesn't like elaborate on? Like that's a bad thing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you agree that consolidation is bad, Ant. So you agree with Drinker. I know you hate to say it, but it's 100% true. You agree with him on this point. But also he's arguing that it's the lesser of two evils. I know it's a difficult concept for you to grasp, but like somebody was going to buy them. They wanted to sell.
I just want to know why Ant think Netflix would have been better. He never explains it at all.
He hasn't brought it up.
Or hasn't explained it, I should say. We're not done with the video yet.
Like, see, who the fuck is this?
I don't know. I just want to show it because I was scrolling through X and I found it. I want to show it off because it goes really fucking hard. That's why.
Okay, how far down the rabbit hole did you go?
I don't know, man. I just need a fucking break. We gotta keep going.
We're almost done.
We're almost done.
Bullshit. What else he puts on? The truth is, all he sees is a game. You know, you wouldn't know about all the stuff that Paramount does if you watched anything other than an action film. If your mom watched Netflix, she's probably seen Grace and Frankie. But the problem it's the full portrait. Ellison is ultimately a businessman, and investors have not been all that successful because of him, but because of creative drivers and veterans in the industry. What happens when you blacklist so many and alienate so many that you have less people coming to your projects with potential? What happens when you cut costs to different studios, different television stations that have made your studio what it is? A slump of the industry, less projects, less risks, more boring stuff. And if Ellison is your guy, a guy who made Career Dark Fate, the very thing you presented as a sign of the message entirely, and you argue that's what you want moving forward. But no, Drinker tells you, Paramount's going to fight Disney. Look at what Disney's putting out, like Predator Badlands, a movie that the Drinker hated, but general audiences seem to really like.
Okay, how did that perform at the box office, Ant?
Right.
It flopped, you fucking moron. Why do you keep saying the audience liked it when it was obviously a lie?
What was Predator Badlands like? 187 million
It
box
flopped.
office.
It had to have it was made on a budget of around 100 million, and it needed to make around 200 to break even, and it made 180.
Mm-hmm. And then we had what was it? Alien. They've kind of driven that.
Alien Romulus, I believe.
Yeah, they had Alien. Well, then they had Alien Earth. I know a lot of people forget that happened, but that was a series that came out.
I think it's been renewed for a second season.
Yeah, well, that was like before the first season even came out, I think.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Terminator Genesis? The bad Transformers movies? Is this really the best shit you got, Ellison? Oh no, they're gonna bring out Star Trek with Section 31. Yeah, this is the guy who the drinker is telling you.
Oh my god, you're gonna
All
bring
right,
up
I'm
Section
done.
31.
It's
Section
no
31
more.
was clowned on by
Section 31 was like a C-section to the senses.
Ooh, it was a C-section to the franchise, only it was unsuccessful because the baby did not survive. Anyways.
I love how that unironically rhymed.
That was my wrestling promo, Evan. I was like, you were a C-section of the franchise, but the baby did not survive.
And the numbers spell disaster for you at sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean, and all I needed to say is just if you don't see the potential in this merger, I think you're delusional. This has like several analysts have come forward to say that this is likely to rival Disney in terms of overall content they can put out. Now, that's granted, they can fail. This merger could just be completely could go up in the air, but that doesn't negate, as of this moment, that it can be successful. It has a lot potential, and the fact that you can't, and you not acknowledging any of that shows that you're just completely not on bias. You're just completely biased in addressing it. You just want to go after Drinker for whatever reason and say that he's wrong.
Audience, gone against your own interests and lied to everyone about who you really are. But then again, any of us keeping track could have told everyone already you were nothing more than a liar from the moment you started opening your mouth.
So this confuses me. Where did Drinker lie anywhere in his video?
In his fucked up head.
At best, you can say that he's jumping the gun on this topic, but then Ant is also guilty of the same thing because he praised James Gunn's universe, despite a lot of the things he was praising it for not actually having come to fruition. So it's like, what standard are we operating here?
I still don't see where he lied. Like, this in of itself from Ant is a lie. He's just
liar.
It's just, as you said, Alex, he's just simply jumping the gun, but that's not a lie.
The James Gunn.
Celebrate people losing their jobs. Celebrate families who have to take out a second mortgage on their homes to feed their families. Because most of the people who are suffering are the most of the people who rely on consistent television work, consistent thankless work.
Okay, that would have happened anyway with the Netflix merger. People would have been laid off regardless.
I think Ann is pissed off that he can't.
To be fair, every time a big merger happens between studios, a lot of people do get laid off. I mean, when Disney bought Pixar, some people got laid off. And of course, when Disney bought Fox, a whole lot more people got laid off.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. Like, Ant is acting as though this was only the result of the Paramount merger, which was going to happen regardless.
Like these special effects guys losing their jobs. You want to point to the big name actors you recognize. You don't know their names, but you ignore the names and the credits of the people who make your films possible. You're celebrating the suffering of the little guys, the people who you are supposedly appealing to. You are celebrating them suffering.
Where is he celebrating the suffering?
Again, just to go back a couple minutes.
Drinker dancing on the fucking corpses of these people. What?
Drinker said that this merger was like the lesser of two evils, so clearly he's not entirely on board with what's going on. He's just saying it's preferable to Netflix buying them out.
The lesser of two evils.
And you were a writer for Polygon. Your argument is fucking invalid.
Yeah. Why don't Ant take a trip down to fucking Backseatville? Because we got a fucking nice fucking local way we teach lessons down here. We walk up to you and we're all like,
homeboy! Welcome to the hood, brother!
and then we pee on them. But anyways.
And above all else, that's the most egregious thing, isn't it? Because you're not just celebrating, oh, Mark Ruffalo won't get a job from a company he's not working for anyway. You're celebrating FX, the overworked guys. Supposedly you're on their side, right? Well, guess you showed them, huh?
Anyway, that's all I've got for today.
And you just invented an entire thing on your head that made drinkers seem evil. But the reality of all of that was that you just can't accept that people accepted a lesser of two evils and not the one that you enjoy the most. And to top it off, you think, oh, they're suffering and all that shit. When the only one people here are suffering are the people who listening to your stupidity.
I want to see if there are any comments that say it's preferable if Netflix had acquired it instead.
Oh, we found Eric Debunks' burner account. Lol at his use of clips from 2016 to fake that the wokes are matter of just pathetic.
I think I just saw a comment that said, if Drinker said the sky was blue, I'd go outside to double check.
Ooh. None of these comments feel as though they're actually engaging with the subject. They're just bitching about Drinker. That could be made on any anti-Drinker video.
So what the fuck is this? So the Drinker's doing a bid?
I don't think the Curse Reaper, I don't think he knows what like sounding drunk sounds like. Because that's clearly what Drinker is going for in most of his bits.
I don't understand the phenomenon of someone who makes stupid but funny commentary videos transitioning to pretend to be some of all-knowing business insider political analyst.
He isn't!
Why can't they stay in their lane? It's like if a reality TV host pretended to be Buddhist. Oh, wait a sec. What the fuck?
Oh!
This is why the term "don't cry for the stupid, you'll be here all day" speaks volumes.
He's not the only one who.
Yeah, here you go. How do you know the critical drinker is lying? He's forming words. Yeah.
Genuine question: does the critical drinker grifter like anything? Like, does he get any enjoyment of watching videos? Well, maybe. If you look at his other channel, you'll understand that. Here's hoping that the deal doesn't go through.
It's already gone through, isn't it?
Hey,
here's one. I've seen some of your videos, and if anyone is lying, it's you.
Yeah.
Source. I actually like dark face.
The Reddit mod is like source.
The funny thing is, so did Ant. I bet if you were to ask him about it back then, he would say, "Yeah, it's good," but now he has to pretend now he has to. Act as though his position was that it was bad.
The way Drinker speaks is so granting and annoying. I can barely watch this even as we hear him for only half a runtime. It's quiet. Oh fuck you! Oh my.
This is the funny thing, right? If Ant really thinks that Paramount is as woke as he is explaining it to be, if he really believes that David Ellison is as woke as he's saying he is, why is he upset at them acquiring it in the first place over Netflix?
Because then people will be fired and Drinker will be dancing at their grave.
But again, people are going to be fired no matter what. No matter who acquired it. People are going to be fired.
Well,
I'm pretty sure it's just an anti-monopolization sort of thing.
Again, in either scenario, it was going to be a monopolization thing.
Yeah,
if Netflix or Paramount acquires it.
Well, guys, we had a whole bundle of fun this video. We had some laughs, we had some cries, we had some feelings of boredom. We peed on Ant, we debunked his point, we laughed at Drinker's clips, we infringed on Mr. Popo's copyright. I say we had a full day here, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
We better Backseater and pretty much debunked himself.
Well, anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this stream. So if you guys enjoyed the stream, please give it a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe for more streams like this. And I'll see you guys next time in the backseat. Take